Hello, StarCraft fans. We're back with another day of Season 3 of the StarCastTV Star League. This time we've got Group F. We've only got a couple more groups remaining, so let's take a look at them. We've gotten through 5 of them so far. I think we've got 3 more left. This one's going to be Hero, Mighty, JYJ, and Yoon. I think we have clear favorites here. It's very obvious that it's Hero and JYJ. Mighty, I feel like I remember him doing well last season. Can't remember exactly how Yoon placed, if he even played. But in Group G, we have Mini, Cop, Gameo, and YSC. And then Group H, actually the one I'm looking forward to the most, not just because we have Terran players, but because we have Backo there, who I haven't seen in legitimately like 15 years. And then Noob, who even though I often load up his stream and see him playing League of Legends, I know he's been active, and I think there is a real chance that he can make it out of that group because Royal is a very volatile player. You never know what you're going to get. Can he bring his A game, or is he going to bring his F game? So let's get into Group F today. Look at our matchups. We've got Hero facing off versus Mighty. Unfortunately, I think Mighty's going to be sent to the sent home probably because facing off versus Hero is kind of a tall order. It's his best matchup, and then JYJ is just a killer. I guess the real question is, can Mighty somehow upset JYJ? And then, of course, JYJ versus Yoon is our second match. Yoon, he's a great Zerg. I could see him maybe getting a miracle win if he gets a ZVZ versus Hero, but I think this is a pretty rough group. With all that said, let's get into Game 1. It will be Hero versus Mighty. And letting Cruiser know that I don't see the BattleNet screen, so I'll have that up in a minute. Here it is. Okay, so in the bottom left of Radeon, we've got Mighty. And in the top left, we do have Hero. Now, like I said, didn't we just see Mighty play in like Season 2? Am I misremembering? Okay, yeah, I brought it up right now. We did have Mighty. He ended up losing in the round of 32, but he got a pretty rough group. He had Rush, Bishop, and Beast. Surprisingly, Mighty ended up beating Rush, ended up falling to Bishop, and then losing to Rush in the losers match. So his PVT is quite strong, but the real question is how strong is his PVZ? Because Hero, this guy has, what is it? I think like almost a 70% win rate or something like that, 65% win rate or something crazy in ASL versus Protoss. So if you're going to take down this guy, I actually think you got to do something like what Sins did in the previous season, which is go, Nexus first, Gate, no Forge, and just pray you get a massive build order advantage. But we can already see that Hero knows that he's the clear favorite here. This is a 9-pool opener. He's making sure that no shenanigans catch him off guard. And we've got Mighty going to bottom right, so unfortunately, I'm not going to find Zerg first. And, it could get dangerous real quick if he's out of position with the Zealot and the Lings just run in. Well, this game could get dicey real quick. Drone Scout going out. I'm trying to think, do I really see drone scouts that often in PvZ? I mean, maybe I'm just tripping here, but I feel like I haven't seen a drone scout in a while. I wonder if Protoss is gonna think that's interesting. Why did the drone come out so quickly? We do have a double scout from the probe, and he will see the Lings moving across the map, and of course it's going to be 6 Lings. And here we go. Zealot also on the move. Probe sees it, so that means that the Zealot's going to have to turn around. I imagine he's probably going to send a probe down to the natural, but I don't see any movement there. Okay, there we go. Finally sending it down. He really needs to get that Forge up or something to, get rid of some of the surface area. Wait, what? Is he not going to build anything? He's just going to let him run in. Okay, there we go. Okay, wow. We're cutting it real close here. Building the Forge literally at the last instant. Now, 2 Zealots will, of course, beat 6 Lings. But the question is can he micro them to perfection here? Okay, that's good damage so far. He damaged a couple of Lings, almost killed one, and he took no hits. Behind this, Zerg is going for the 3-hatch. Got the 305 gas coming up. Everything to me looks very normal. Of course, what I usually see in Protoss versus Zerg is, overpool or 11-hatch, and we see something like the 235 gas. But I think with the 9-pool opener, this 305 gas seems pretty normalish to me. We do have the 2 Zealots moving out. Now, the Overlord didn't see it initially, but the Lings still retreated, and now the Overlord will see it, and this counterattack of Lings doesn't really look like it's going to do much. Instead, he's going to send... Well, I thought he was going to send them over to the 3rd base. Now, there's 2 Zealots here. Technically, I think the 2 Zealots will be able to kill a hatchery, but it will slowly go down. And with 8 Lings coming, I can't imagine this really doing... or make that 10 Lings. I don't think this is going to do much damage. I think he's got a good setup with the these minerals right here, where he can go in and out, damage it, fall back, just be annoying. Well, he's got to make sure he doesn't get caught like that. Now, actually, Heroes already said that he's had enough of this game, as this is going to be a 3-hatch Hydra all in. Drone count is incredibly low. Very, very low. And I don't even think Hero got plus... I don't even think he got speed on his Link. So I think this is literally just Hydras. No speed. Fast as hell. Speed upgrade on his Hydralisk. He's going to try and knock down this natural. Now, remember, the probe died pretty quickly. And so far, there's no additional probe out in the map. Oh, wait a minute. He shows the... That has to be a mistake, right? Or this is a bait. Maybe he's saying, like, hey, I built Hydras. You better start cannoning up. It ends up falling. Okay, I think this is actually just a fake. Because he built more drones at his natural. He only built 1 Hydra at his 3rd base. And the fact he doesn't have speed either is also kind of interesting, on the Lings, I mean. So, I feel like this has to be a bait, right? I'm actually surprised that it still ends up being a Stargate. I thought for sure maybe once he saw the Hydralisk, he would go Citadel instead. But it seems like he's also thinking that it must be a bait. I don't think this is an overreaction. He ends up going 3 cannons, I think. And going for the Corsair will give him good intel into the main to see exactly what's going on. I mean, this is a very dangerous position because he's still in the dark. By the way, that gas is messed up. So I can already see it now, where Mighty Meg be a little bit gas-starved. Also, with it being an assimilator at the bottom side of the map, I'll speak as a Terran player. I know that the mining down that direction gets messed up. So this could be a real big loss of gas. Well, now after the drones got caught up to about 23, we do now have some Hydras being built out. So kind of a delayed 973-ish type of build. And I think this is going to be, well, not necessarily all in, but I see continuous Hydras being built right now. As I say that drone, I think, is going to build another hatchery. And the Corsair does spot that there is no lair. So it's not like there's a Muta switch anytime soon. It's not like he's going to get lurker contained. I think this is just going to be like 5-hatch, big eco. And so far, the gateway has not died. Now, Hero's got a lot of money, as Cruiser is pointing out. But where does he want to put that? Or what does he want to put those minerals into? It looks like it's going to be another hatch. Okay, it's interesting that there's no Hydras here to help save the Overlords. If I was Mighty, I'd be worried that he's going to go for it. And there he goes. That cannon's going to die. There's still 4 Zealots here. They soaked up a decent amount. Actually, they soaked up a lot. So he ends up losing 2 cannons. He's going to rebuild them. Forge is going to get picked off. I guess the question now is, will +1 weapon complete? I didn't actually see the timing on the Forge, but I'm going to say probably not. Now, that's obviously a miss rally. Yeah, as he sends it back. And +1 did not complete. So that's a bit unlucky. And now usually we see a lot of players just go into double Forge as a follow-up. I think Mighty is in an okay position. Like, look at his worker count. It's 44. He doesn't need to build more probes. He just needs to, get his infrastructure up and running. He's got his Citadel. He's going to have speed pretty soon. And there we go. He's now starting to flood the gates. He's up to 5 now. 6. I think it's probably going to be a 7 gate. You can still afford 8 gate, but I think he's probably going to do 7 at first. Still waiting for that additional forge. I didn't see it in the main, didn't see it in the natural, but definitely don't want to be behind upgrades versus Zerg. And Hero doing what I was expecting, which is he's droning up like a madman. He knows he can't be attacked right now, so might as well just drone up like crazy. Still waiting for a little bit of better SimCity at the third base. I guess that's the most exposed position right now. At least the natural has the colony, or not the colony, the evolution chamber to help with defense. And we actually have a 6th hatch over at that third base. Okay, and that is 8 gate. And he's setting up like he even might put down 9. No, that's got to be the forge, another forge, or probably a robo. I think we're so far along that it's probably a robo. Oh, it is a second forge. Okay. We do know that Zerg has a late lair, so I guess he feel like he doesn't need to have a robo just yet, so I think this is fine. I saw double DT come out. Now, that's interesting. It makes me think this is going to be a Dark Archon, and there it is. Okay. So Maelstrom, heavy gateway count, no robo. He's also got 3 Templars, and he's banking up energy for them for quite a while. So he's going to have Double Storm on them, probably when he attacks, or close to having Double Storm. And right now, he's on the move. I mean, he's up a considerable amount of supply. To be at 90 supply versus just 60, and 45 of the supply is drones, you feel like he's got to win this fight, right? But maybe I'm wrong, as the Hydras just don't care about the Storm. Okay, they're going to care about that one, though. Zealots, I mean, Zealots are going to easily win this battle, right? If he goes right now with just 8 gate Zealot, I think he could win. But it looks like the 8 gates are not going to pump out those Zealots right now. The Spire just finished. If these are all Mutalist, obviously the Mutas are going to kill everything. But I don't think that they are. It would be so sick if he morphed these Templars into Archons and then went with his Dark Archon and just tried to kill him. So I think the Archons would clean up the Mutas. I think that the Zealots plus the Maelstrom onto the Hydras or the Maelstrom onto the Mutas would just be devastating. And there's 9 Mutalists. Alright, so this is a lot of Mutas. There's not very much anti-air. In fact, I think the only Corsair ended up getting picked off. Ooh, the Overlord comes in. He's going to try and hide. Can he hide? Ooh, he doesn't see it. That's great. So far, the tech has been hidden. That means that these Mutas are... They got to be very careful. He has no idea that this is on the field. Oh, he wants it. He wants it. Oh, he kind of missed. He's going to get some... Oh, actually, no, he didn't miss. He got a lot of them. Oh, that's beautiful. I know people talk about, or at least Terran players talk about how great it is to hear Dragoons melt, but that's got to be the Protoss dream right there, to hear all those Mutalisks just immediately explode. And by the way, Hero, I realize his econ is crazy, but look at what he's doing. He's taking a 4th base, and he's double hatching up there. That's a lot of resources that aren't units. And by the way, he still doesn't have lurkers. I know supplies are really close, but the fact that the Mutalist threat has been taken care of, and the fact that +1 weapon and armor should be kicking in pretty soon, I think there is a world where Mighty could make an attack happen. I guess the question is how much Storm does he really have? If he only has like 2 Storms, of course he's not going to be feeling confident to attack. But if he's got like 4 to 6, I think he could definitely do it. I can tell you this, though. He needs to do something. If he just sits here and lets Protoss or lets Zerg get top middle, he's going to be in some real trouble. Whether it means he attacks, with his full-on army or sends DTs or does a DT drop, he's got to do something. Now the Lurkers are going to burrow. I haven't seen an Observer anywhere. Wow, that's unfortunate. He hits 1 Lurker and misses the other 2. I'm getting worried for Mighty at this point. I mean, the eco is just bananas. 8 hatches with +1 done. Basically even supply, quadruple gas for Zerg. He can just build endless lurkers. I don't think he really needs to go into Hive right now. He could just continuously build Hydras and Lurkers until Protoss mines out their main and natural. What do you do as Protoss? Like, I mean, it is Radion. I think Radion is a great map for Protoss in general, but I feel like he's probably going to struggle with what I struggle with in Terran versus Protoss, which is moving your units constantly, bouncing between the third base and the bottom middle base, and, you know, trying to defend all those areas. Also, he's going to have to be diligent with his Maelstrom usage because he still doesn't have any Corsairs, so Muta Switch is always going to be dangerous. He could always just send some Hydras in to bait out the Maelstrom to set up for, you know, a follow-up Muta attack. We do have Hero taking top right, so he's going to continue to macro like crazy, putting him at 9 hatcheries. That's a good storm. Gets 5 Hydralisks for free. I mean, this is a killer army, but I think Zerg's about to hit +2 weapon, and I don't think 1-1 is going to be enough versus it. Yes, there's a lot of Protoss, obviously. That does not have Maelstrom. Where are the Templars? Okay, there's a Templar as the Storm blankets a decent amount of the Hydralisks. Man, that rally point is crazy, dude. Look how big the green blob is. I just don't see how you attack uphill. I don't think you can do anything to the 4th base. It's going to be units, you know, getting 100% damage down when you only get 50% because of the high ground. I think his best course of action is to just try and overwhelm the rally point, but it's 10 hatch Zerg. This isn't even all of his army. Like, the Lurkers aren't even helping in this battle. Okay, that's a lot of Dragoons that ended up being left over. So 130 versus 130. But did he use all of his storms? Still just +1. Yeah, he's only got like 2 storms left. Dragoons are going to take care of these Lurkers. That's great. But I'm worried about the incoming units. Yeah, okay, that's a great Maelstrom at the bottom. Unfortunately, he doesn't have another storm to blanket it. And with this army getting melted, I feel like Hero's already done it. He's probably just going to run away with the game at this point. I also noticed at bottom middle, something has denied the 4th base. More Dragoons are dying, so massive tech losses. What was it, like 5 or 6 Templars? Plus mass goons have died. I also don't see the Dark Archon anymore, so that's off the field. I would love to see the Muta Switch now. Okay, there's the Dark Archon, so I take that back. So no Muta Switch, please. Just continue to go the Hydras and the Lurkers. I mean, look how many Lurkers he's morphing. And he has Hive done. So he can go Hydra, Lurker, plus Lings. But I will say that his Lings probably don't have upgrades, so I don't think that's going to be coming in anytime soon. But there's nowhere for Mighty to attack anymore. I think he lost his win to attack the 3rd base, you know, around 100 supply. Now he's down 35 supply. And Zerg's on the move. We're also at 17 minutes. That means main and natural is going to be basically mined out. All Hero has to do is deny the 4th base and he will win this game. That's a great storm. But it doesn't matter, man. There's so much Zerg. Those Zerglings don't even have crack. And he's still just getting crushed. This is why this guy doesn't lose. He just makes it so easy. Makes it look so easy, I mean. And that was just a easy victory for Hero. There's no point in that game where really he was under threat except for maybe, what was it, like 90 to 60 supply that we saw? But Mighty wasn't confident in his ability to attack and just let Hero get crazy. So we're going to be going into our next game now, which is going to be, who is it? Yoon versus JYJ. Let's get into it. Okay, so in the bottom left, we do have JYJ. And in the bottom right, we do have Yoon. So ZVT on Citadel? I think this is our first Citadel of the entire tournament. In fact, I didn't even remember that it was in the map pool. Alright, well what's this? This has got to be an 8 Rex, right? Can you 8 racks here? Okay, I guess you can. You know, I played on Citadel a lot last season in the ladder. I don't remember being proxied in the center like this. Usually I had people proxy me on like the side of the center, like mid-left or mid-right. I thought this was unbuildable terrain right there, but I guess I'm wrong. So, 8 racks. Now what does Yoon want to do? I think I've mentioned this before about Yoon. Yoon is kind of like Soxry from what I remember, in the sense that he plays like a lot of big-time macro play. Like, at least macro openers, I mean. I've seen Yoon do a lot of all-ins, but like, it generally is off of big econ, like this. So we've got the 12 hatch coming down. Already Zerg's in trouble. Like, this is very far forward. So this is going to be gas as a follow-up. So we're going to have factory come in. Vulture's going to be out in the field pretty soon. And we'll see how much damage this can actually do. Because when you do this type of build, you don't build a bunker, which means it can be held. So if he builds a bunker here, the game's going to get weird. Because I don't think Zerg's going to expect to be running into a Vulture as a follow-up. There's the pool. That pool seemed late to me, but I didn't actually see the timing. But I'm already worried that the Marine's basically already here. Zerg still hasn't found this Rax. Not that I was expecting him to scout the center anyways, but wow, I'm surprised he didn't send these 2 Marines yet. He's still waiting for 3? Don't you send off... Okay, I'm confused at what this is. It's 4 Marines? By the way, he is supply blocked. Like, this is why you generally see them just go with 2. Because now I'm confused. Like, he's going to have a Vulture. Okay, he's just mega low econ. He's going to have a ton of Marines. He's making it look like this is an 8 racks with no tech. But he's going to have a very, very low SCV count. Now, obviously, this is going to have a lot of DPS. But now that he's lost the SCV, how much damage can this really get done? I guess this is also a mind game in the sense like, hey, you stop my 8 racks, you don't need a sunken. But he actually does. Rid of 2 lanes. This is already getting ugly real fast. I can now understand the power of this build, because these 4 Marines are going to be a headache to deal with. And they're going to be followed up with a very quick Vulture. Well, I mean, I guess that he got rid of them faster than I was expecting. But this problem is still that there's no sunken. Okay, he knows somehow. I don't know if the Overlord came in and saw the natural, or not the natural, the main base, but he somehow knows that, hey, there's a Vulture here. I think the real issue is that was too easy. You know, this is not A rank or B rank where, you know, it could have just been the Terran player messed up badly. Like, this is not going to happen at 3000 MMR. Now, interestingly, we've got an add-on while also going Wraith. When I saw the add-on, I thought this was going to be a drop. By the way, there's a Hydrogen going down in Zerg's main, so he thinks that there could be Wraith. And, I mean, that's a smart move, but we also saw players like... I can't remember who Bishop played and who Speed played, but they dealt a lot of damage with their Wraiths into the Hydralisk. So I'm not sure if Hydra is really the move here instead of going Mutalisk. But we'll see how this plays out. I'm curious what the upgrade is. Like, is it for mines? He's built so many of the Vultures that I actually think it's gonna be for speed. What I think he's gonna do here is he's gonna try and bait the Hydras into the main while he runs by into the natural and tries to get drone kills. Or vice versa, you know, bait the Hydras to the top side of the mineral line there, and then run the Vultures into the main. Either way, he's on the move with what's going to be 4 Vultures. I guess also, I see that he put down an add-on onto the starport, so it could also be for a drop, but I think it's kind of slow for that. Yep, there he goes. He baited all the Hydras into the main. Now it's time to kill these drones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 or 4 went down right there. I mean, that's decent damage. But the fact that he has no command center, I don't think that was enough. Oh, and he's going to spot the dropship. That is no bueno for him. You can see immediately Hydras get into the position into the main. And I wonder if he's actually going to commit now, or if he'll do like some type of fake here, like send the drop into the main, but actually run by into the natural. Well, I guess we're getting our answer, as he's going to still unload in the main, but he's going to hide it on the outskirts. Oh my gosh, no vision there. Okay, he's actually going to go into the main. I thought he was going to run into the natural. There we go, 3, 4. All right, that's now worth. I think he's now gotten worthwhile damage. It's like 7 or 8 workers in total. He did lose like 5 or 6 vultures. It's, you know, a big commitment. But I think the damage here was definitely good. But I think the problem now is he's still stuck on 1 base. Not that I think he could have afforded to go a command center anyways, but I'm worried that this Muta follow-up is going to be devastating. 1, because the Marines have no upgrades. 2, because Vessels take an eternity to actually build up to and get the energy for Irradiate. And 3, Zerg has 3 hatch. It's not like they're low econ on 2 hatch and don't have a lot of larva to play with. Okay, another vulture drop here. I mean, this is just pretty much dead supply unless you're going to get spider mines, which he obviously can't afford being on 1 base. So that was really good damage. Once again, gets a couple more. And now Zerg has also shown that obviously he has the Spire, but he doesn't have any Mutalisks. Otherwise, he would have used the Mutas to help defend versus that. So it gives him, you know, some more time to build up this Marine count, get his Vessel out. He's going to have +1 weapon in just a second, or sorry, not just a second, in like just a minute or so. And we've got a Radiate on the field too. So these Mutas really should do almost nothing. I'm actually thinking that if JYJ builds a 3rd Rax and goes for tanks, I think he could go for a killing blow. Not sure if he has stem or not, but we do see the first medic out in the field now. You just see that it is going to be Vessels. Okay, that's a good split, but also there's only 4 Mutas, so it doesn't really matter that much. Ends up killing a Marine anyways, alright. Is he really going to attack? Okay, he's just going to expand off of this. Alright, I think that's smart. Even though you know, based on what we see here, I think he could win with an attack. I think it's smart to just power up here, because if you attack here and it doesn't work, you're mega dead. You don't have anything to fall back on. You don't have tanks. You didn't have a 3rd Rax. But now just sitting here, you can build that command center. You can obviously defend versus lurkers. You've got enough Marine medic and Vessels to deal with that. And obviously, there's not very many Mutalisks. Gonna get a free Overlord. That's always nice. And what is nice for Yoon also is getting rid of that dropship, you know, a couple minutes ago. It means that he no longer has to worry about drops, because JYJ, I can guarantee you, is not thinking, oh, I need to go for a drop now. I guarantee you he's thinking about, well, I need to get my vessel count up, because, you know, I only have 1 starport. This guy can have an overwhelming amount of lurkers. So I definitely need to build it up so I can have, you know, tons and tons of irradiates. Alright, well, Yoon, I don't think he can win this battle. I think there's too much damage with the irradiates. Okay, well, if he can completely surround, Okay, he didn't. And +1 weapon should be done. That was a great retreat to the bunker. And you can see why that was not going to work. He ends up containing him for now, and behind this, going to take a third base. So overall, Yoon's still in a good position. But the tank is going to push this back. Okay, it looks like he did actually get a vessel, so that was actually not bad. I'm curious if the hive is started. I think we see another big building in the main, which signals to me that most likely hive has started. Oh, nope, not yet. Queen's Nest is about to finish and hive will start in a second. But either way, Yoon is still in a good position. He's up workers, better econ. His army can hold attacks. I don't think he can necessarily attack into Terran, but he can definitely hold attacks, and he's going to have hive on the way. He's also reduced that vessel count to, what was it, just 1, probably 2 in a second. So not a lot of DPS, or not a lot of damage coming through the vessels. And this, of course, is going to be an SK game. I can't really see a world where JYJ would mech switch. Econ is way too fragile to do that. Worker count is way too low. And the fact that Zerg is already on 3 bases with 3 gases, I just don't see how that's a possibility. So we see the 5th barracks coming down. I guess the real question is he going to go 7 racks and all in? Or will he just stick on 5 and take a third base? I actually think he's going to stick on 5. With it being a 1 base opener, you're going to be mined out in your main really quickly. So if he was to all in, how long could he really all in? Like maybe like 2 minutes or so? We do have JYJ on the move once again. Again, supplies are very close. 90 to 80. Only 1 vessel. Makes me a little bit worried for Terran. He does have the 3 tanks. I think he has 1-1 upgrades, which is great. The siege is not exactly the fastest, and those lurkers got a really great setup. Well, at least at the top side. Oh man, okay, they definitely did not get a great setup. I thought they did. Thought the top side was going to get mowed down faster than it did, and instead, the lurkers at the bottom side got absolutely blasted. No +1 armor just yet for Terran. I thought for sure it would be done by now, but maybe he ended up going into +2 weapon. Either way, Terran lost 0 tanks. He's also rebuilt his single vessel here, so now he has detection and irradiate. There's still no Dark Swarm, and this may not be able to be stopped. There's just so many tanks and so many Marines left over. Yeah, I don't think he can stop this. Also, the science facility at the top is perfect. He knows when the units are coming, gives him detection. The vessel ends up surviving. Wow, this was a massacre. Absolute destruction. Wow, I thought JYJ was not in a great position, especially after Zerg got their 3rd hatch so quickly. I thought he was going to have more larvae available, be able to, scale his econ faster than he did. But I guess those vultures, well, of course, we know the vultures did a lot of damage, but I thought for sure that Yoon had a good defense there, but guess I was wrong. So we're going to be going into our winners match now, which is going to be Hero versus JYJ. This is what everybody wanted to see. Okay, in the bottom left, we do have JYJ. And in the top left, we do have Hero. So TVZ on Radeon. I think I had mentioned this before. Rush, JYJ, Light, Royal, all these Terran players, they really do mix in a lot of 8 Raxes. I think this is like one of the first 8 Raxes we've seen in quite a long time. So now all of a sudden, players like Hero, they can't just open 11 hatch and 12 hatch every single game. I think they're going to have to respect it in this tournament. That, we could see JYJ, for example, maybe not necessarily back-to-back 8 racks here because that's too far along, but maybe in game 2, we could see another 8 racks. Depot in the main. No wall-in. I know a lot of players do wall-in at this position in particular, but not the case for JYJ. And Hero, as expected, is going to go into the hatch first. If he was the 12 pool here, I would be very surprised. Could be command center first. In fact, I think it is. Ooh. This is a Rax, I'm confused. Okay, it's going to be a somewhat fast scout, so he's going to go CC first. You know, JYJ even went CC first for his Protoss and ASL. So obviously he has this type of play in the arsenal. And he's going to get a great build order versus... Oh, in the main. Okay, we saw Scan do this last week, didn't we? Can't remember who he was facing off versus. Was it Hyun? And Hyun did 4 Lang attack. He also misscouted and found him last. I mean, it was just a disaster for him. But this time around, this is going to be the absolute dream. JYJ doesn't get scouted. Hero even sends the drone bottom right. And a lot of times when you see command center first, you end up seeing a 2 racks. But because the drone hasn't scouted, maybe he can get away with a 1 racks here. I still think it's going to be a 2 racks though. Alright, gas is done. Well, that hero gas was a little bit later. This is going to be the 2.5 hatch build. Seeing the gas complete at 240, that means he put down the extractor at 215. So better econ than usual. I'm sure JYJ will take note of that as he comes in here and sees that, hey, your natural doesn't have a lair, your main doesn't have a lair, so it can only be that you took a later gas. Or you're rushing speed, which Hero doesn't strike me as a Ling all-inner. Now the drone gets in here and he will see, hey, you're getting away with 14 CC, but it was on high ground. Floating down to the low ground will cost you like 1.5 SCVs, something along those lines. So it's technically a 14 CC, but it's more like kind of playing a gasless expand. There we go, landed SCV. And I wonder if Hero will get tricky here. He hasn't put down his 3rd hatch. I think it should be coming down pretty soon. He's also gotten the SCV down to low health. I was thinking maybe he could, now that he's pushed out the SCV, go for like a Hydra play. But not a Hydra play, a Lurker play with a Hydrogen, obviously. There's the 3rd hatch in the main. Everything looks very normal. Expect this to be Spire, of course. And there we go. Alright, 4 Marines on the move. Like, this can't possibly do damage, right? Yeah, he's just going to back up. But it is the 2 racks that I was expecting. I saw the gas come down in his main at like 312. So maybe add 20 seconds for the Academy. So this should be a relatively quick Academy timing. Plus the fact that it was a later Spire. Yeah, this could have a lot of pressure. It is only 6 Marines. I think he needs to wait for 8, and then he can go. Okay, well, I guess he could go with this, but... Alright. Yeah, you can see that Hero immediately put down 2 Sunkens. Firebat and Marine come out. Oh, he doesn't lose anything. Okay, JYJ immediately counters. That's going to be great. These Lings may be able to just be annoying onto the eBay, but I don't think this is going to really do much damage. Dim kicks in, and now he should be able to clean these up. Yeah, this was easily dealt with. But he does force out the double Sunken, which is nice, and definitely can't kill that. Yeah, if it was just single Sunken, with the Spire being so late, he definitely could have probably just bulldozed his way in. But now he's just going to accept that he was able to get 2 drones there. Took almost no damage in his main. I'm just going to start ramping up that Marine count while putting down some turrets. That was really good stutter step micro, but in the end, it's just too many lings. Scan goes off, and he sees the natural, and we'll see the drone count. And he sees more drones. Okay, so he knows he's not getting, like, Ling Muta all in. He knows that he doesn't have to worry about that, so he can start building some more SCVs if he wants. I think he just put down a factory in his main. So 3 racks tech. Pretty much a middle-of-the-road type of build. Very safe build. Can't really pressure that easily, though. But, like I said, the fact that he scanned and saw that there's no lings with the army means that he can make a move out like this because there's no chance of there being, 12 lings waiting in the darkness for him to get surrounded. That was a good bait. Forces out a stem. I mean, normally I would say that this is dangerous for Terran because they're so far away from reinforcements, but because he knows that this guy didn't ling, I think it's okay. Wow, more Sunkens? What is going on? I'm confused by this. Does he think it was like 5 racks? I guess technically he never got into the main, and it is very weird for Terran to move out like this unless they have a lot of units. Okay, he may just counter and win. Gonna jump on that turret. Marines are very strong, and there's not that many of them. Okay, so he wanted to try and just counter. That's why he built a lot of Sunkens. But he has, like... he still doesn't have a 3rd base. That's a lot of turrets. And there's even one at the bottom side. Okay, well, a lot of turrets don't matter as these turrets still end up falling relatively quickly. This is an armory follow-up, so it's going to be Valkyries. Lots of damage being dealt. But the problem for me is that Zerg still has no 3rd base. Yes, there's not a lot of production for Terran, but Terran also didn't really lose much. And now he's sent all of his units back, so I don't think that this is going to work. However, it's going to get scary because there's now no Marines in the main. Mutas, they really want to cancel that army. Okay, that's great. Cancels the armory. Oh, those Marines are kind of choked up. If he wants to engage, that's the time. Okay, he gets 2 medics. That's fantastic. Surprised how this game has gone. I thought for sure, once we saw the drones at the natural and main being built, that this was not going to be turned into an all-in. But I guess a mind game from Hero, as he's now essentially completely all-in. I mean, there's no follow-up. In fact, is there even a Hydra Den? I'm not even sure if he has a Hydra Den. It's just non-stop mutas, non-stop lings. Yeah, just now the Hydra Den's going to complete. So the Lurkers aren't on the field for a while. He knows that the Valkyrie is, a little bit away, so he can still come in here and do some damage. This is double Muta group, by the way. He's going to mow down these turrets real fast. But with the Valkyrie out in the field, now he's going to turn around. Well, if JYJ wants to go, he does have a few seconds where he can go with double Valkyrie, get out onto the map. I don't think he can bust the natural, but what he can do is move everything to top right and try and shut down that base. Lurker upgrades, it's not exactly the slowest upgrade in the game, but it's not the quickest either. I guess JYJ is hesitant to move out because there's so many mutas that if he gets countered, how does he defend? Scans that natural up there, doesn't see anything. Alright, either way, JYJ is on the move now. Oh. That was a nice volley right there. Gonna get rid of that Overlord. And it looks like those mutas bought enough time for the Hydras to get top right, which means he should have the Lurkers in position. So actually, doesn't seem like this is going to do much damage. If any. Yeah, he scans. He knows the 3rd hatch is there now. But he knows that it's too late for that. Okay, that was a nice connection. But he built more Valkyries as they shred through these Mutalisks. These are... oh, I thought they were more damage than that? Okay, that was fantastic. He just needs 2 more volleys of both of those Valkyries, and those mutas are just going to be basically useless. Now, yeah, I was just about to say, he floated his factory, right? Like, I don't see it. I don't see an add-on. I think that's the building in the center, kind of in the center of the map. Wow, interception there even kills these? Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to say, if this had been like a tank push, I think he would have just had an unstoppable army, but it's not a tank push, so this game is going to continue. I think it's probably going to be a command center at mid-left in just a second. I am so surprised that these Valkyries were able to just chase these down. Yeah, he can't escape, man. That's it. They're gone. I think they're gone? How did they avoid this? Alright. Now he's chased a little bit too long. He deserves whatever he gets here. Yeah, I think it's... He's still trying to engage, man. This feels so dangerous. Valkyries are extremely expensive. Yeah, he loses 1. Doesn't get really much in return for that. Well, we've got the first few vessels out in the field. Hero also has to be worried that because it was double starport, he could easily have dropships ready to go. Luckily for him, I don't see any. It's even more lucky for him because his mutas are very damaged. Like, a drop would just be incredible. But look at this. He finds the exposed third base, and this is going to be a cancel. That really hurts JYJ. And I just now realized that Hero's worker count is even with the SCV count. So this is fantastic for Zerg. I still am a little bit worried about the vessel count being so high, but Zerg looks like they're in an okay position. Nidus Canal completed, so no real threat of that base being busted anymore. Naturals obviously can't be busted, and the main can't be busted either because of how many Mutalisks and Lings there are. Did he really build a command center on location again? I thought for sure you would have learned your lesson there and built it on the high ground, but this is another dead base. Oh my gosh. It's like that meme. Like, how many times I gotta tell you, old man? When are you gonna learn your lesson? He might lose these vessels too. Oh, that's really good. Gets rid of one of them. Still hasn't lost basically any of these. Wait. There's no way he's long distance mining. Right? What? The thing is that there's still a lot of action going on, like with the vessels and the Marines, that I don't think the replay is broken. Like, the movement looks too... Okay, I'm not so sure anymore. Yeah, replay looks... It's normal? Okay, well, Cruiser thinks it's normal. I think it's a little strange to see 3 hatcheries being built all at once. But Hero does have the big-time econ. And we do have a double expand now for Terran. He's taking bottom middle while also taking mid left at the same time. He still has his vessels. He still has his Marines. There's an irradiate. Okay. So that really didn't do very much. Double evolution chamber. Now, Hero really does like Hydras, so this could be for Hydra damage, plus armor, of course. But it could also be for Lings, but I actually think it's going to be for Hydras. I think his econ is so crazy that Hydras is the play. Also, it will help deal with the vessels, as they've basically not been whittled down at all. You land a single plague, and, you know, essentially you can get all the vessels if they're ever out of position. Whoa, is that the first Defiler? Okay, but there's no Fire Bat, and it just died. So this one single lurker plus the Defiler is going to hold this for now. That was a nice attempted Ling counterattack right there. In fact, it's a completely open base. If he was if he was to send everything bottom left, I think he could shut it down. But there's no movement on that side of the map, and it is going to be Ultras this game. As we see the Ultralisk Cavern complete. Good irradiates, gonna take down a couple more key units there. I'm just worried for JYJ in the sense that I think the econ is just too bananas and there's too many hatcheries that even though supplies are, you know, they're okay right now at 130 to 120, obviously not the best for Terran, I have a feeling it's going to explode in just a second. By the way, JYJ's mining at mid-left is still really lacking. He does have the battle cruisers coming pretty soon, but how are you going to be able to support battle cruisers unless you can get a little bit better mining at mid-left? Zerg now up in supply versus Terran. Something you never want to see as a Terran player. And finally, I think the Lings and the Lurkers may actually be on the move. Yeah, everything looks normal. Like, I felt like the game was still normal because of how Terran was using his units. It was just kind of weird to see 3 or 4 hatcheries from Zerg go down all at once. Now he's got a massive bank, so I'm sure he's going to be building Ultralisk in just a second. This flank from the back, those are plagued Marines. Tons of them end up dying. And now where do you go? All he can do is try and escape with his life down to bottom right. The Lings are going to intercept this. Oh, D-Matrix Firebat, still not enough. And this army is going to get cleaned up. And like I was saying, Hero hasn't even used his bank. It's a 3K, 1.4K, which I'm sure will turn into, you know, 0-0 in just a second. There we go. There's a lot of gas being used. Ooh, he's used about 1,000 of it. Oh, he found the vessels. How many did he get there? Like 3 or 4? Only 2 more remaining. So this is... Hero's got it in the bag, right? Like there's no key tech buildings or key tech units for Terran anymore. Lost basically all their vessels. I feel like the only hope here is if there's a Doom drop. He does have triple starport. If he could get 6 dropships and do a drop while Zerg's like out in the center of the map, I could see a world where maybe he can miraculously hold with his rally and BCs and vessels and then try and base trade. But other than that, isn't Zerg just going to run away with this game? Zerg now taking top middle. These BCs are going to die. So many Scourge. So many Mutalisk. Ultralisk also. Yep, see ya. And those BCs ended up getting cleaned up pretty quickly. There's still a Lurker here, so that ends up doing a ton of damage. Yeah, single Lurker holds the line. Comboed with just 5 Marines, or 5 Mutalisks. Oh my gosh, so many units just dying for free. I mean, those are good irradiates, got a lot of Ultras and Mutalisks, but it's just still so much production. I also don't think Terran has... Okay, Terran has a lot of barracks. I was going to say, I don't think Terran has enough barracks, but what is it, 8 barracks? With triple starport? I mean, that's a considerable amount of production, so I take that back. But he's still down 25 supply. There's still a Lurker here and a Defiler now, so this base is completely safe. I think really what we're waiting for is we're waiting for Hero to feel confident in getting an attack out onto the map. And once he does that, I feel like bases are going to start dying left and right. Another good plague. Hitting those BCs. Probably going to hit him again. Well, I think he's going to. Yeah, I heard the plague go off. So he's got those BCs plagued once more. Yep, those are going to die pretty fast. Well, he may end up winning this fight, but it's still not a lot of bio. Zerg is basically maxed. Where's his army? Okay, well, that's not the type of attack that you really want to see. Karen just mowed down so many Ultralisk and Zergling for free, but he loses all of his vessels. He's going to end up taking down top middle now, though, as the Marines just bully their way through. Okay, there we go. Finally, we see Hero send a real army, as I can see a huge flood of blue getting in there. And another reset of the army. I feel like this is going to bleed off also. And I think pretty much at this point, we're just waiting for the nail in the coffin. I still don't see dropships anywhere. These BCs are not going to do enough damage. Hero's even taking a 5th base, or actually technically a 6th base at top right. Still no real consolidated army for Zerg. I mean, if he keeps just sending like this, Karen's going to continue to be able to hold these attacks. These BCs just suicided for the 3rd base. I mean, that's fine. He ends up taking it down, but will lose both of the BCs in the process. This base, I guess he don't even need the Lurkers or Defiler. He can just breach it with just laying Ultralisk. So this is going to get taken down. Oh no, a Radiate, that's going to mow down every... Okay, that's way too many Ultras. Gotta see the GG in just a second, right? I can see that the BCs are microing for the lives at top right. It takes down some more Scourge, but JYJ is essentially one base mining now. Doesn't have critical mass vessels anymore. Definitely doesn't have critical mass Marine Medic, and obviously not critical mass BCs. So if Zerg just saves these Ultralisks, and next time sends a Defiler, I think he's going to have it in the bag. Those are, again, great irradiates. Okay, we went from having 2 vessels to 5 or 6. So all of a sudden, every Ultralisk gets irradiated. That's fantastic. But all it does is mean that these Ultralisks are just going to hit even harder as they mow down another group of Marines. Well, those 2 BCs are getting some good value. It's just unfortunate that the other BCs really didn't get much value at all. Command Center didn't die, so JYJ still has it. Not mining it, though, at least not just yet. And finally, those BCs are going to get taken care of. Good amount of vessels at this point now. And once again, JYJ on the move. Still down 35 supply, though. Hero is getting... I was going to say he is getting gas starved, but let's be real. He still has at least 3 full gases. Top right, all of it, and top middle. So he's basically got 4 or 5 gas mines. Is that BC still alive? How is it still alive? I heard a plague go off, but I don't know exactly what it hit. Another reset of the army. I mean, that BC has done real work. He just hasn't had anything else do real damage for him. Another Ultralisk gonna die, but not before he gets a couple of Marines. Alright, you got like 4 more additional Marines. I guess that medic didn't have any energy. Okay, for a second I thought that one Ultra was gonna win. Well, JYJ is doing a really good job to hang on, but how much longer can he really hang on? It's still a 60 supply lead. He's lost all of his BCs. He still has a few vessels left over, but he does... Oh, they're all plagued. Oh my gosh. 8. Okay, he has more than a few vessels. He has 8 vessels, but they're all plagued, man. Tries to save them with an irradiate, but still ends up losing 3 of them. Okay, there we go. There's the blue line that I've been waiting for, but it's only Lings. He's probably going to hold this still if he's got some fire bats. All right, there we go. Is there anything in these bunkers? Okay, there is. Wow, that's an immediate stem. Oh. How is this game still going? Where is Hero's supply? Like, that's what I don't get. It's where's the supply? 170 supply, but you can't just have 50 Zerglings and that's it. Okay, there we go. That may trigger it. That is a lot of vessels lost. He also shut down the bottom middle base once again. JYJ still fighting with his one, real army here, but he's got to make magic happen. Killing top right third base is great. I would say he needs to get at least one more to have a fighting chance in the game. He's still down almost double the supply. Bro, that's annoying. Alright, this army finally gonna get caught. Still no Defiler though. Trying to micro to those bridgers with the medics in the front. That's a really good position. Minimizing the losses. Once again, this fourth base going to be under threat. There's... Okay, SCV's in position. I mean, it's going to be hard to get up there. So once again, the Ultras... Okay, well, this time around they're going to go to the Natra. I was going to say, once again, the Ultras are going to be denied, but not going to be the case. Instead, they're going to eat some Irradiates going into the main. Another small engagement here. I think Terran can win this battle. But obviously, Terran is... still on the back foot. Now, I don't think he's going to win this battle anymore. 6 Ultras. This army's going to get cleaned up. Literally 100 supply deficit at this point. Tons of scans going off. I see he's stimming towards top middle. That Lurker's going to get taken down. And finally, JYJ just running out of steam here as the Ultras clean up everything and the GG comes out. So that means Hero's going to take game 1, but that took a really long time. I'm still curious, where's the supply at the end? 60 drones, 189 supply, and the army looked tiny. I mean, was there like a field of lurkers somewhere that I'm missing? Not sure exactly, but now we're going to be going into game 2. Alright, and in the top right, we do have JYJ. And in the bottom right, we do have Hero. And once again, we're on Citadel. Okay, that drone going to the bottom, I had a hope for a second that we're going to see like a 5 pool or a 6 pool or something, but not going to be the case. No early SCV being sent out this time, so we're going to have, once again, a normal opener, I imagine, unless he does something weird like walls in his main and goes for like a 1-base Wraith play, which we have seen on maps like Apocalypse. I don't think we're going to see Command Center first again. That would be strange. Depot in the main. Overlord was built for Zerg, so not going to be an early pool. And unfortunately for Hero this time, his Overlord's going the wrong direction. Wait a minute. This is another CC first? Okay. Really rolling the dice here. Okay, never mind. Oh! 11-11. Was not expecting that. So, we did see some Wraith play. I think I mentioned in previous casts that within like the past month or two, I have seen Speed and Bishop both do 10-10-10 builds. Now, I myself experimented with this on the ladder, and even though 10-10-10 is obviously faster, you know, it's not that much faster if you can really boost your SCVs very well. Like, it's like 3 seconds faster. Like, if you really nail your 11 gas timing with boosting, you can get out like a 220 factory, right? Which puts you like 3 seconds faster than a 10-10-10. And obviously, your econ is way better. So, if this ends up being like a Wraith all-in, I like this much better, because he'll have big time econ. But it looks like it's not going to be a Wraith all-in. He is just going to pull off of gas after the factory. But either way, that drone that went to top right got intercepted and now goes to top left. And now Zerg has no idea that this is actually a tech opener. I don't think we see a lot of Zerg players like blindly build a Sunken when they don't get the scout off. I think we've only really seen that from players like Beast or Zealot, where I think them building Sunkens is a little different. You know, they may just build a Sunken not just to stop the Vulture, but also to make sure you don't get in and scout. And then, you know, they already have the image that they all in a lot and they can do like big time mind games. But I don't think this is going to be a blind Sunken from Hero. Like, I don't remember the last time I've even seen him do that. This game may already be over. Like, this Vulture could do so much damage. This is, like, very risky. Okay, the Sunken still comes down, but it is an 11 gas. So he's still going to get here in time, I think. This is going to be a nightmare. And with it being a Wraith follow-up, these Overlords are also not safe. Yeah, it's going to be here in time, and he has no links. He doesn't have anything on the ramp to defend. Oh my goodness. Oh, I thought that drone coming from the main may have been able to block it, but now the Vulture gets in. With the SCV, he can also repair, which is crazy. Oh, SCV said, "Hey Vulture, you didn't do your job. I'll take care of that drone for you." He's gotten 2 of them already. 3. Okay, he wants it. He wants to snipe. He wants that snipe. He wants that snipe. Can he get it? Oh, almost. Really big damage, though. Incredibly big. Oh, the Ling gets in. And that is huge. He now sees that it's a Wraith. He now sees that there's a bunker coming down. And this looks pretty similar to the game that we saw earlier, where this is going to be a 1 base. I'm guessing he's going to go Science Facility as a follow-up. Now the Wraith, can he find any Overlords? Not just yet. The Overlords are well positioned. Fire. I think he should just kind of accept that he's not going to get an Overlord, man, and just kill some drones. I don't think by the time he finds the Overlord that he's going to be able to actually, you know, supply block Zerg. A lot of times their Spire completes around now. Now he finds one. But I don't know if getting this is worth it over getting a couple of drones. Is there an eBay, by the way? There isn't, right? Okay, this is cutting it really close. Like, I realize that Zerg took damage, but this is incredibly risky. This eBay was like 15 seconds late. He's gonna try and, you know, buy time by sending these Vultures in. And I think this is a smart move. This is kind of what Wiko did in ASL, right? Like, hey, your Mutalisk can't attack me if there's Vultures in your natural, but that didn't buy the most time. Turrets, they're coming down, and I guess it will be in time because there's just not that many of those of the Mutalisks. I wonder how many he'll build now that he sees that it is a 1-1-1. Wow, drop already got out? Does he have Vultures? He would have built so many Vultures. Did he really build 6 again? He did. And he finds the sweet spot where there's nothing. Oh my gosh. Hero has nothing here, man. Another drone falls. Another couple drones go down. That puts him at 3, 4, 5. And he gets a lane, which, you know, not huge, but hey, getting anything helps. And he gets a full scout off. Okay, he sees that the hydrogen came down real quick. He saw that the evolution chamber came down. I think this is a 3 racks tank all in. I think that's the play here. You know that this guy's skimping out on Mutalisk now. If you go tanks with 3 racks, 1 base, you've done a lot of damage to the minerals or to the drone line. You can probably win. You also already have the add-on, and I think that's exactly what he's doing, but I could be wrong as another vulture gets sent out. Wow, more vultures. This is weird. I mean, he still has the dropship, and I guess it keeps Zerg back, but at the same time, this money could have been used to build a tank. Well, maybe it couldn't have, because I'm looking at his mineral or his gas, and he's pretty gas-starved. But I can't imagine that he got vultures for mines. I think this could... The only reason he's getting this is just to be annoying with the drop. And look at this, he somehow evades the Mutalisk. Oh, no way. Another drone? And he's gonna have a drop in the main. It's only 1 vulture with the drop, but it's still gonna be annoying. Some good harassment with the Meadow. You know, he only had 2 of them, so for him to get any kills was nice, delaying the command center a little bit. But Terran's on the move, and that dropship still hasn't been found. So actually, he could end up using the drop for Marines and Medics now if he wants. 2 vessels, there's only 2 lurkers, so those lurkers aren't going to last very long. Scourge, not going to get a connection. Oh, that's a great irradiate. So much damage. I like this lurker swoop around though. It's gonna cut off reinforcements. If he can just sit on the high ground, I don't think he should counter. I think just sit on the high ground, hold position, catch the Marines. But he's actually sending. Okay, I think that was a mistake. Now Terran knows that, hey, there's lurkers outside of my base. Well, either way, there's still a huge amount of Marine Medic. There's a lot of Hydra Lurker. I mean, it was pretty obvious that this was going to be Hydra Lurker because of the evolution chamber, which is why I'm so surprised that there's no tanks. And that dropship is still alive. He's gone unscouted once again. I'm surprised that no Marines or Medics branched off to go for the drop. Okay, actually, Zerg might catch him. This is a lot of Hydra Lurker, and Marine Medic is not exactly the greatest versus Hydra Lurker. Okay, that was nice. But I don't think you can get through a bunker in this much Marine Medic. We'll see, though. Is he really going to go for it? I mean, it is a lot of lurkers. Oh, he needs a good spine shot. That was decent, but I still don't think it's enough. Is it really? The lurkers are so strong. Especially if he has +1 weapon. Okay, yes, it's not enough. These tanks and the reinforcements are going to clean this up. So, an interesting attack. Oh, he has +1 armor. Okay, so that's why he went. Big power spike for him. He still gets a lot of SCVs. It went from like 35, now down to 26. If Hero continues to all in, I think he could overwhelm. He is going to have 6 lurkers, maybe like 12 hydras. Could be enough to breach. What was it? Only 1 tank? Not a lot of irradiates left over. +1 armor is obviously huge too. If Terran just moves out, he may get caught, like, you know, being overconfident with his unit movement. Yeah, I think Zerg should just go. Oh, he's gonna catch him. Oh, he's gonna catch him. Oh! I thought that was the play to just go. Oh, is he gonna go? I think you gotta go. It looks like Terran doesn't have siege. That's a good split. Tank. It's so low. Yeah, but so many free pot shots. Oh! He got rid of all the Marine Medic, and he's gonna get rid of the tanks and the vessel. This might actually be over. Did he continue to all in? That's a lot of racks. That's 6 racks. If he waits, Terran can hold. But Terran doesn't have a bunker. Terran still has no siege. Where's the siege? Wow, that's annoying. Okay, there's the siege. Finally. Now this might actually get held. Yeah, I think you gotta cancel that morph. Just back off. I think Hero did the damage. Well, I don't think he did the damage that he was looking for. I think he was looking to end the game. But I think he's done enough damage now that he'll be able to fall back, go into his third base, have 4-hatch production. You know, he still doesn't have Hive, which is very scary, but Hydra Lurker is still really strong into what is mostly going to be Marine Medic here. There's only one starport. There's only one factory. He really needs to do something about this dropship, man. I can already see it. Like, there's not a lot of vision on the right side. I can see Zerg making an attack and Terran doing a drop, like, at the same time, and Terran just getting overwhelming amounts of economic damage. Well, +2 power spike for Terran. Zerg has 1-1. Okay, so the +1 weapon is going to be huge for Zerg, as there's going to be able to 2-shot Marines with the Lurkers. But this is such a fearsome army, man. This is a ton of bio. It's going to be, once again, JYJ getting him to that sweet spot like he did versus Yoon. And unlike other maps, you know, you can't come from the left side. You have to swoop around to come in through the back. And, you know, this is a pretty tiny choke right here. Like, I feel like Zerg's going to get funneled up here. And Hydra Lurker are pretty fat units. Oh, man. Okay, JYJ's not even waiting. Okay, I think this is going to be a massacre. 3 tanks already in siege. Well, that is a lot of Lurkers on the left. That is a ton of Lurkers. Is it enough? The Marines don't have armor, man. The Lurkers are out of range. The tank can win. Oh my gosh, that was a huge find as all the Marines get eviscerated. And he's going to clutch it with that defense there. Terran's going to have to turn around. Does still critically keep his vessels alive. Still has the... Oh, I was going to say he still has the drop alive, but I remember that got picked off, so he doesn't have that anymore. Hero's still low econ, though. But luckily he does have 3 bases. Still has a good lurker count. And Terran still only has one starport. Okay, those units died real fast though. Where's the lurkers? I don't think JYJ can push though, man. His medics have no energy. Like, every stem here is doing a ton of damage. Hydras are even strong. Yeah, look at how fast the Marines die to just even Hydras. Yeah, that was an overstep from JYJ right before his army gets synced up. Medic dies there. I don't think Hydras can win that battle, but they don't need to. He just needed to buy time. And that's exactly what he's done. Just a relentless amount of pressure from JYJ. Free Hydra, that's nice. There are no lurkers here. He's got to be careful, because isn't there only one sunken defending? Oh my gosh, getting the vessel. Yeah, there's one sunken. Okay, now we've got some lurkers set up. If Terran like has +1 armor kick in right now, I think it could be great, but there's no vessel. But still, 2 tanks. JYJ not reinforcing just yet. So Zerg's still okay. The lurker falls. Okay, now he's gonna jump on it. Lurkers from the left side and the bottom. Bottom side lurker got taken. Well, those 2 lurkers got taken down pretty quickly. Damn, this positioning is just so killer. Those tanks are just so fortified, and with reinforcements coming... Okay, looks like he did finally break Hero here. +3 weapon is already done. Wow, these units just hit so hard. Good lurker spine. But I think the reinforcements is too much. He's in the natural dice, gonna start killing some drones. There's still a tank here. And the +3 is so crazy. Wow, just barely Hero doesn't hold. And that means we're gonna get a tied series, 1-1. Hatchery dies. And we're really just waiting for it at this point. I mean, 36 supply to 82. 21 of the 36 is in drones. So there's really no chance of this ever working. There it is, GG comes out. And that means we're going to be going into our final game of the winners match. So our final map is going to be Apocalypse here. Let's get into game 3 and find out who's going to be making it out in first place. Okay, in the bottom left, we do have JYJ, and in the bottom right, we do have Hero. Now, JYJ has been playing some tricky builds. We've already seen how strong Wraith is on this map. We saw Bishop play it. We saw Speed play it. JYJ got a good spawn for it also. Bottom left, you can full wall. So I think that could be the play here. But actually, I have a feeling Hero might pull first here, even though he got the only spawn that can't wall in. JYJ has gone for CC first. He's then now just gone for, 11-11. He may try and wall his natural, and there he goes. And if you go for a 9 pool here, it could do some real good damage. But not going to be the case this time. But there is going to be the wall as expected. Luckily for Hero, he is going to scout JYJ first, so he's going to know that there's a wall. And of course he's going to know if there's actually a command center behind it, so that's going to be fantastic. Is that an overpool? I think that was an overpool. Well, I gotta say, I think JYJ has massive build order win now. I don't see how this overpool is going to be in time. This is not necessarily a Ling type wall, but pretty close. And the travel distance is not exactly the smallest. So as long as JYJ has an SCV in position to clog up the bottom, this is probably going to be an easy hold. Now we saw Yoon go for 4 Lings last time. We'll see if it's going to be 4 Lings once again. I think that was a drone. Well, I guess at this point, Hero realizes there's no point to build Lings because it's going to do no damage. So he's just going to drone out of it. And I like the fact that he still goes for the fast gas. So he's still going to have his Spire timing be on time. But obviously, he's going to be down 1 or 2 drones in the early game. But at least he doesn't have to build Lings. Now the SCV should build the command center, as we saw JYJ doesn't have gas in his main. Hero still ends up building a couple Lings, just 4 though. Gonna look to try and push this SCV back. Now, one of the downsides of doing a wall is if you do lose your SCV quickly, Hydra busts or Lurker busts are actually really, really hard to stop. Yes, you have the wall, but the Lurkers, they shoot through everything. They can take down the bunker and the wall at the same time. So if Hero can knock this down quick enough, I could see a world where he just turns this into a mega all-in. Ooh, we might have caught it. Not yet. So I think at this point we're probably too far along to go for the Hydra Den. I think at this point it can only be Spire. This was good scouting from JYJ to maximize how long that SCV ended up being alive. Now the Marines moved very far out. I guess the Overlord, well, I guess he had to have seen it because I see the Overlord's just over the natural. But backs off. All right, nice catch right there to catch the SCV once again. I'm kind of confused why he sent another one out here, because he pretty much got all the intel he needed. He still sees that, hey, this guy's droning like crazy. Wow, he's actually... Okay, so he was waiting to see if this guy droned like crazy, which he did, and now he's going to make an attack with just 8 Marines. But still, the Overlord saw it, right? This is so ballsy. I mean, this is like you don't have stim, you don't have a medic. If this guy built Lings, you're dead. Like, you're losing all of your firepower with the two racks play. But he's going to hit at the perfect time. Spire's not done just yet. He's going to force Lings. This Sunken is late. Is he walking by? Okay, if he gets by... well, he needs to shoot the colony, man. What's he... I was going to say, if he gets behind the mineral line, that would be amazing. But did he waste too much time? Oh, he still gets there. Oh, the Marines... Okay, he's mowing down a lot of drones. That's nice, but he loses a lot of Marines for this. I mean, this is clearly worth, but at the same time, this alleviates a lot of the pressure on the map. Oh, wow, he gets another drone. So, if he gets countered by, like, 5, 6 Mutalisks, and Terran doesn't have enough turrets in position, he may be able to snowball the game here. I don't think that's going to happen, but I could see a world where that does happen. Because of that, I really hope that like JYJ builds a bunker, at least that is natural. Because if you were to lose this game, yeah, okay. If you were to lose this game because you just barely don't have enough Marines, that would be heartbreaking. All right. Not a lot of damage there. It's only 4 Mutalisks, so this doesn't even one-shot Marines. I mean, they two-shot everything, but you can see, like, not a lot of stuff dying that quickly. JYJ doesn't care for some reason. He's just moving out again. Okay, so he's going to put on continuous pressure, but there's no third hatch out on the map. Like, he's not going to be able to deny a third hatch because it just doesn't exist. It does force Zerg back, but Terran lost, what, like 5 or 6 SCVs for that? I mean, that was good damage. For having only committed 4 Mutalisks, that was really good damage. Alright, up to 9 Mutalisks now. Now we're starting to get into a real muta count. Okay, the drone count is just so low, man. Third hatch going down at top right. Hopefully he can catch some medics here. I think if he can catch some medics and keep Terran back, he can, you know, slowly get back into this game. But if Terran is able to just, you know, keep this pressure up where it forces Zerg to build more and more Mutalisks and never drone, then Zerg's going to be in massive trouble. It is 3 barracks once again. It's got a factory coming in pretty soon. Okay, gets a couple of Mutalisks right, or a couple of Marines right there. That's nice. Zerg's still so low on the eco, just 19 drones, man. Terran well defended with all the turrets everywhere. Muta's trying to find the angle, but there just isn't one. And Terran already has enough SCVs at 36 that he doesn't need to build any more SCVs anymore. He can just build non-stop units. This is going to be so hard to stop. Is it double starport or just one? I mean, it looks like it's just one. I guess he doesn't have his nat gas, so I guess it will just be just one. But what's the single starport for? You know, I was looking at how the game was playing out. I thought, okay, well, it's probably going to be like 2 vessels, put on a lot of pressure, and then do double or quadruple drop. But because there's only 1 starport, that's not really a possibility anymore. Whoa, just a counter? Okay. There's not a lot of Marines. Wow, there's basically no Marines. Did Hero catch him? If he mass sunken like he did in Game 2, okay, that's exactly what he's doing on Radion, I mean. Armory's not done. No way. No way that Hero steals this game. All the turrets are dying. There's only 3 Marines. They're not very strong. Armory's not done. Oh, he's going for it. Is there enough? Is there enough Marines? Drone's being pulled off. It looks like there's enough medics to heal through this. Oh my gosh. Marines are just barely going to win. The Meadows have done insane damage, but 9 drones. That's it. And I'm not talking about the player. Literally 8 drones now. This base is dead. All JYJ has to do is bunker his Nat and build 1,000,000 turrets, and he's got this game in the bag. I'm surprised he focused down the Spire instead of the drones. Curious what's happening in Terran's. Okay, he's getting jumped on in the bunker. The bunker dies, but there's still a lot of turrets left over, and there's only 6. Okay, there's 8 mutas with 3 of them like one-shottable by a turret. Well, if he just Ling floods, no way. Dude, there's a lot of Mutalisk here. Armory is going to get canceled again. There are Lings. SCVs have to be pulled off the line. What is going on? I guess the real question is, can the 8 Mutalisks plus Lings beat the standing army? I don't think they can. The SCVs are so strong. Okay. 1 Mutalisk ends up dying. Oh my gosh, that is a hero Marine if I've ever seen one. Oh, the bunker's complete. That's it. Once the bunker completes, that means that there's no way that this can be a hero victory. He has 0 drones, so of course he can't transition out of it, and he GG's. What a game. That was crazy. I can't believe that the 8 Marine attack really worked out. I think Hero had a great counter, like a great follow-up, I mean. Obviously the Sunkens were just barely too little, but man, he did a lot of damage with the Mutalisk, and that means he's going to be making, or JYJ will be making it out in first place. Hero not out of it just yet, of course, as he'll be waiting in the winner's match. Now we're going to be going into our losers match, which will be Mighty versus Yoon, Protoss versus Zerg. So let's get into game 1. It's going to be on Apocalypse. Okay, so in the top middle, we do have Mighty, and meanwhile, in the bottom right, we do have Yoon. And, you know, I was checking the StarCast YouTube channel, and the Zealot... Was it Zealot? No, it was 815. The 815 Ruin games just got posted, so when I saw these spawns, it reminded me of that. If you guys end up watching this and you don't watch 815 versus Ruin, highly recommend that game, or that group. Absolutely wild game. One of the craziest I've ever seen. So, you know, I had taken a few minutes to look up what Mighty's results were in the previous StarCast season, because I remembered him playing. I'm like, didn't he do well last season? But he did well versus Terran, so the fact that there's 2 Zergs here makes it kind of feel bad for him. You know, he's only going to be potentially facing just JYJ at this point. And we're actually going to have a 9-gate. Or 10-gate. Okay, I saw you queued into this. Wait, what? Okay, it's an immediate forge. Okay, he's going to try and cannon rush. But unfortunately for him, it ends up being a 9 pool. Hopefully... Okay, he ends up going to the right side first. That's nice. At least he's going to find Zerg first. And he'll be able to see it coming from a mile away. Will this do damage? The 9 pool? It shouldn't. But it's going to be painful that he's scouting with 2 probes. And on top of that, the Overlord's going to see one of the probes over here and also see the probe go into his main. So already, he knows that, hey, this guy was trying to cannon rush. He doesn't even need to build more. Okay, I'm hoping that that additional egg being morphed was a drone. Because if it's a Ling, he really isn't going to help him here. Right, that's some good control on the drone, dealing a decent amount of damage to the probe. There's the first 4 Lings, and it ends up being 6 Lings. So okay, I guess he builds the 6 Lings anyways because he wants to make sure that this guy doesn't cancel one of those cannons. But Mighty will see that the hatchery is going to be put up at top right. Okay, and smartly, Yoon keeps 1 probe back. It would have been hilarious if he had have tried to cannon rush top right, and somehow the Lings were across the map and not in time. Yeah, I was about to say, can't he run by this? Okay, that was not worth. Only 1 getting in, definitely not worth. I think if you can get 2 in, that's fine, but now, you know... Okay, well, if he can get a probe kill, it's worth. But now he can just pull off, like, 2 probes. Just chase it forever. Well, okay, well, if he pulls off, like, 3 or 4, then all of a sudden it's really bad. But if it's just every now and then pulling some off, it shouldn't do that much damage. But it's going to be 3 hatch follow-up, of course. Gas coming down also. Okay, can he get that kill? No. So he's done more than half damage to the Zergling now. Gotta remember that those Lings heal up, though. And what's gonna be the follow-up? Since he's disrupted the mining, you know, I wouldn't hate seeing a straight-up hydrogen, assuming he can keep this probe out. If he can keep the probe out, I would love it. If it doesn't, or if he can't, then I don't know. Oh, he gets a probe, but is he gonna lose a... No, he's not gonna lose an Overlord. And the probe gets in and at least sees that it is Lair. Cybernetics, a bit more than halfway done. So far this Ling has definitely been worthwhile. You know, I wasn't expecting it to do much damage at all, but because the gateway was so late, and the fact that he got even a single kill, means that it has definitely been worth. He's still so annoying here, forcing off multiple probes. This is one of those games where you wish you could, like, repeat the build order, like, you know, have a save game, start from a save state where the Lings don't get in, and just compare, okay, how much mining do I have at 5 minutes, or how much resources have I mined at 5 minutes in a normal game compared to now in this game with the Ling killing a probe and, you know, disrupting the mining so much. Like, how impactful has this actually been? I saw Zealot move out, but I guess he's not feeling confident. It's 2 Zealots. He's not feeling confident to move across that, so he does just go into the darkness and back off. The Ling is still alive. Okay, this is crazy. It scouts everything. It even sees the Stargate, it even sees that, hey, this guy doesn't have a Citadel anymore. Finally, this is going to get taken down. He ends up sending a goon at it because he's like, man, the Zealot will never catch it. And in Zerg's main, the Spire should be, yeah, halfway done. So I think the SCSL can rack up probably just 1 kill if he can find an Overlord, of course. And finally it gets taken down. Overall, good damage. 4th hatch coming down. 5th hatch going to be coming down in a second, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, it doesn't really look like the Corsair is going to find an Overlord. That means these should all be safe. Not going to have a single supply block coming in. That's massive for Zerg. Is that the Hydrogen? Yep. Hydrogen. Okay, he does find 1. And this should die. Now, we never actually saw the Citadel timing. I think we saw it get built in the main, but we didn't actually click on it, I don't remember. So I'm curious what, you know, time the Zealot timing will come out. Okay, there it is, next to the Stargate. I thought it was at the top. That must be the Templar Archive. But it's still just one gate. So clearly this Ling harassment has disrupted the strategy immensely, because one gate still at 7 minutes? That seems a bit absurd to me. Does it not seem to be that way? How many Zealots does he even have? We've only seen 2. Okay, he has 3. So he has 3 Zealots at 7 minutes. 1 Goon. He does have a decent amount of Corsairs, but he's even forced to build a cannon in the main. Whoa. I really don't like Mighty's position in this game. Drones, or the drone count for Zerg is pretty high. I mean, who the hell is scared of 3 Zealots and a Goon? Especially when Protoss has no intel onto what Zerg's doing. If I was Zerg, I wouldn't even, like, be scared of this. Maybe I would build a Sunken, but yeah, it's more likely that Protoss is going to turn around, and that's exactly what we see. He ends up having some colonies just in case. But yeah, he's completely fine to just drone. In fact, I expect to see him go up past the probe count pretty soon. I mean, he has 5 hatches. Protoss still doesn't have more gates. What on earth? Okay, he has a second one. Okay, so technically... Oh, okay, that's why he has double Stargate. He ends up going Citadel, double Stargate. That's interesting. Was not expecting to see this. But I guess he thinks that Zerg is going to go way hard on the Mutalisk, and he just wants to blind counter it. Now we have Zealots on the move, but it's quite slow. An 8-minute move out with +1. Zerg's econ is pretty good, 36 workers. He thought it would be a little bit higher than it is, but there's no way that this does damage. The Sunken's too strong. I don't even know what Protoss is trying to get here. Why not just turn around? Okay, there it goes. And it looks like the Corsairs attacked the Natural at the same time. I guess he got 1 Overlord, but that's it. He's ended up hiding 5 Mutalisks over on the left side, but now with the Corsairs coming back, he's just going to back off. I think that's smart. You know, he could have gotten a couple of probes, but who really cares about a couple of probes if you're going to lose all of your Mutalisks, most likely? And also, Mighty, it wouldn't have even done any damage to him because he already has 56 probes. The worker count is absurd. Econ is crazy. And the Corsairs end up finding the Mutalisks anyways. Well, I'm actually a little worried for Mighty here. I realize he has a lot of econ, but this is kind of like watching a game from BSL where the probe count is ridiculous, but the unit count is really, really low. If Mighty can get a 3rd base, then I think he's in a fantastic spot, because obviously he's going to have massive econ. But my issue is, what happens if Zerg just attacks within the next minute or so? Zerg's going to have so much stuff. Yes, there's a 40 supply gap, but 20 of it is in workers. So it's actually only like a 20 supply gap, which is not that bad. I am a little bit surprised that Yoon is just now getting to the 45 drones. Maybe I have too high expectations here, and actually this is a fine timing, but I thought that he was going to get here a little bit quicker. Also, the 6 hatch seems a little bit late to me. But he is going to have it. And he definitely needs to do something about this 3rd base. Okay, there he goes. He's on the move now. I think this is going to be a great timing for him. He should have +1 weapon kicking in just a second. Don't think Protoss is going to have +1 armor, but I see some Templars out. Of course, this is high ground, so it's going to be hard to attack into. There's critically no lurkers either. Wow, look at this army. It's literally just pure Zealot almost. And just a couple of Templars. I don't know, man. If there's lurkers here, wouldn't you just get steamrolled? The unit's hesitant to attack, and now all of a sudden, I think Mighty's in a sick position. As long as he doesn't die to these Hydra lurkers, there's the lurkers being morphed. This seems like a prime position for him to be in. I saw in his main he's got range coming. We saw +1 armor just now kick in. He's got like 8 gates, so this one goon mass zealot is going to turn into a lot of goons really quickly. It's high ground with Storm. I don't think that Zerg can, just bulldoze their way up there easily. I think Mighty's bought enough time to get his third base up, to get up a real army comp, and he even has an observer here. Well, at this point, if you're Yoon, what do? Okay, well, the answer is he's going to attack. He saw that this guy still only has Mass Zealot. He thinks it's time to go. Storm, that's a great one. It's a lot of Hydras. That's going to hit a Lurker and a couple of Hydras. There's still just so many Zealots. Okay, those Zealots are going to bleed off. Not that many Observers. Okay, those Zealots are taking a lot of damage. Is it enough? There's still so many Storms. I think he needs one more Storm. Oh, it looks like he doesn't have one more Storm. Is there gonna push through? Still on high ground, still has the goons. Almost no Zealots left over. That's pretty painful. But I think Mighty pretty much did what he needed to do. He held on. Maybe not. That's a lot of Hydras at the top and still a decent chunk of Hydras at the bottom. Corsairs are going to try and supply block Zerg. I think that's a smart move. There goes one of the Overlords. He needs to find more. Mighty built way too many pylons. Look at his supply, 187. Oh my gosh. It looks like actually Protoss may just barely not have enough. Templar dies. Now all that's left are goons versus 6-hatch Hydra. Technically 7-hatch, I guess, because he has bottom right. He's lost the high ground. Seen this before. Now will Zerg just sit here? I actually think it might be a mistake to just sit here. Like, yes, I realize Zerg is, in a highly advantageous defensive position, but with the probe count being so high, I think that Protoss will max pretty freaking fast. Still no more drones for Yoon, not even 1 or 2 to try and saturate bottom right. In fact, I don't even see him using the larva over there. Okay, now I think he's got a couple drones down there. He's pushing for it. That's a lot of goons, though, man. It's a good storm. Goons are just so tanky. 40 supply advantage now. Overlord or Observer dies. 2 goons die. That was nice. Oh wow, +2 weapon on the Hydras already. Also +2 armor on Protoss. So Protoss's upgrades are really good. That's a good dodge of the storm, only losing 1 Lurker, 1 Hydralisk. But this is what I was saying. Protoss is going to shoot up in supply so fast. He's already halfway to 200. He's at 155 now. Just needs 2 more cycles, and then he'll be there. That was a lot of damage. I'm actually getting worried that Yoon's taking too much storm damage, and Protoss is about to bust out. 170 supply now. That Lurker almost ends up dying. There's not that many. These Lurkers seem like they're way too far forward. Maybe it's just me, though? Okay, no, you can't do this. There's so many goons. There goes that Lurker. Are there no storms, really? Okay, it might be go time. Look at Protoss's supply, man. 180 to 110. The Zealots are gonna get mowed down by the Lurkers, though. It is uphill. Storms are okay. Yeah, it's just too much of a supply gap. So this is exactly what I was fearing. Protoss did not have their third base denied. Protoss had an insane probe count, and because it was not denied, that means that they were able to just produce a ridiculous amount of units. And now you gotta imagine, if Protoss can secure mid-left for the 4th base, Zerg has to be in big time trouble. I don't think we've taken a look at Yoon's main in a while, but I have a feeling that there's no hive tech. I think it is just pure Hydra Lurker, which means he's probably going to be stuck on just +2 weapon upgrades for a while. Meanwhile, Protoss is on the move. If he has double forge, he could potentially have +3, +2 in just a second. I mean, it's been a while since we saw the +2 armor kick in. I feel like he'd be pretty close. This is just a massive army. This is huge. I think there's enough Zerg. Okay, I guess there is. But still, a lot of Zealots get in here, and he can just replace those with Dragoons. Yeah, 2-2. So we saw the +2 weapon power spike, but what about +3 armor? Is it just a few seconds away? Now Protoss taking the time to get onto the high ground of Zerg. Oh no. Way too late on the gun here. And now he may end up catching the Hydra, trying to come back. Oh, this is a disaster. This is such a tiny choke point. So many storms going down, just blanketing all the Hydras. Oh, wow, just GG outs. So that's going to be Mighty taking game 1. I did like Yoon's build with the 9 pool, disrupted the mining a long time. Felt like it took him a little bit too long to get his drone count up. Also, why was the 6th hatch so late? Oh man. But now that means Mighty is 1 game away from sending Yoon home. So let's get into game 2 now. It's going to be Radion. Alrighty, so in the top right, we do have Mighty, or bottom right. And then in the top left, we do have Yoon. So, you know, last game I was talking about how wish we could have played from a save state. See how impactful that 1 Ling was. Also, wish we could have played from a save state, you know, put Hero in Yoon's position and see how he would have played it out. Would he have droned harder? Would he have gotten that 6th hatch up a little bit quicker? Because I really do think that Mighty got away with absolute murder, going 62 probes on 2 bases. That's crazy. That's a lot of minerals to spend on probes that really don't help you on 2 bases. For perspective, if you go download any snow replay from Seawall, I guarantee you he does not go over 48 probes. Sometimes doesn't even go over 44. So if you just subtract, you know, the 14 to 18 probes there, then factor in having to build 2 more pylons, we're talking about upwards of 1,000 minerals being spent on probes that don't help you. That's probably why the gateways were so slow, to be honest. Either way, Mighty's going to be playing greedy here. This might actually be 12 Nexus. I have a feeling this is going to be 12 Nexus. He's watched some Sins gains from last seasons, and he's like, you know what? That guy might be onto something. Nexus first, into Gateway, sign me up. And there it is. It's going to be Nexus first, into Hatch first. This is the dream opener. Now, will he go for the Gateway? He can't, right? That would just be so crazy. But, you know, I've thought about this. If you're going to 12 Nexus and die to a 9 pool anyways, why not go for the gate? You can't hold it. But he is going to go for the Forge. This is the safer route. We have a drone scout down to bottom left, so he's going to find Protoss second, and likely Mighty will find Zerg second also. Be a gate. You'd expect it to be a cannon. Yep, there it is. Okay, double scout. Alright. Nope. No double scout. He saw the Overlord up there, so he knows he's at top left. There's the gate. And Yoon is not going to be happy about this. Nexus first. No punish. He is going to be going into the 240 gas. And 3rd hatch on location at his 3rd base. So once again, Yoon is going to have big time eco, but Mighty, I imagine, is going to have insane econ. But again, if he builds 1,000,000 probes, I don't really see how he's going to hit a big power spike, you know, like at a timing where Zerg is vulnerable. So hopefully this game he cuts around 45 so we can see the full power of the cross spawn Nexus first. got in, but got immediately denied. And if I was Yoon here, I would definitely keep some Lings back, sit on that ramp, because you could go Hydras here, and you could just try and completely mind game him, you know, act like you're going for the normal Spire play, or at least make him worried that it could be Hydras, have him panic, put down a bunch of cannons potentially. But there's still only 2 Lings. I have a feeling this is going to get in again. It gets in. I just don't get why Zergs don't build 2 more Lings in this scenario. I mean, of course, I'm not a Zerg player, but I feel like you can sack 1 drone to potentially make this guy freak out. Yeah, why are there now 2 more Lings at this point? Like, why wasn't that out earlier? Now you have 4 Lings, but the lair's like already been confirmed, you know? I don't know. Just my rant about some of these Ling timings. Either way, we've got the Stargate about halfway done at 4:30, so that's crazy fast. Zealot on the move. Did get intercepted by an Overlord and even sees it coming back, so now I think that these Lings should be able to at least damage it quite a bit. You can see he's desperately trying to run away. And I see in the main of Yoon that Spire is coming down. That's some good stutter step micro. I don't think he's going to get much more damage on it. Yeah, it just backs off. Ooh, okay. Speed kicks in, and I think these Zealots, yeah, they need to turn around. So, once again, things are going to keep the Zealots at bay. Only 2 of them, not that I was expecting them to move across the map anyways. And Yoon, I see at the natural, no nat gas. This shouldn't be Mutilus. You know, it still could be like 4 or 5. But I'm expecting it to just be Scourge. And when Mighty gets in here with his Corsair, he'll know that this guy's just powering and probably won't see double Stargate this game. This time around, yeah. Oh, it is double Stargate. Okay, so another blind double Stargate. I mean, he knows that the guy's going Spire, but he doesn't know if it's going to be Mutilus or not. I guess he doesn't care. I guess when you can get away with 12 Nexus, your econ is so crazy that, you know, maybe it just doesn't matter. Or maybe he builds the second Stargate, waits to see if there is a second gas, and now he sees that they're, you know, it kind of just finished, or it's at least not mining, and then he could cancel it. But I'm looking at the minimap. I don't see no cancel. So it is once again going to be a ton of Corsairs. I think last game, what did he have? 7? Didn't even really seem that excessive for double Stargate, but maybe he had a couple more than that. And in the main, once again, so again, he's just playing really safe. And we're getting, again, to the point in the game where he's going to have a perfect probe count. Just cut, man. Build those gates. Okay, there we go. I see a couple going down right now. Ooh, I'm not sure if the Scourge had enough or have enough vision to see that second Stargate, but he sees that Protoss already has 5 Corsairs. Maybe he can guess that that's a little too quick. Alright, he's on the move. This time around, it's a bit more scary. It's 6 Zealots, 6 Corsairs, or 5 Corsairs, and the Zealots should have +1 pretty soon. He's also going to have speed kicking in. I think, in fact, it already did kick in, and there we go. We're on the move. 6. It looks like it could even be 7 Zealots. Going towards... Okay, it looks like probably the natural. Maybe he could hook around to the third base. I see that the third base has the 6 hatch. So this game, he's definitely got the production. Okay, wow, that's more Mutilus than I thought. For some reason, I thought it was just like two Mutilus. Whoa! He doesn't even care. He just mows down the Scourge. And Zerg might be in trouble here. Wow, the Mutas clumped right on top of the Scourge. So the Mutas take critical damage while also killing all the Scourge. This has got to be over, right? Like, look at this. He's going to supply block him to infinity. All the Lings are gone. Zealots just melt that Sunken. Okay, he gets rid of one of the Corsairs, but I think that's going to die too. Wow, just perma supply block going to be coming in. Another Overlord dies. He can just kill... Oh my god, he can kill the Spire. killing the Spire, of course, can be huge so that he can't build any more Scourge or Mutalisk, but also, if he can get rid of that and prevent +1 armor, these Corsairs are going to massacre any Overlords that they see. You gotta feel bad for Yoon. He saw it coming, and he just got absolutely shreked here. Lings from the back. I don't even really think that there's enough Lings to deal with this. Like, there's a couple of damage zealots here, so they do have to be careful. But he's in the sweet spot, and they should have +1 weapons. Yeah, like, these Lings are getting crushed. That pool dies. Well, in a normal game, you know, maybe the pool dying would be pretty bad, but it is Protoss versus Zerg, where they're going to be building Hydras anyway. I don't think it's the biggest of losses, but there it goes. Pool gone, Spire gone. Now all you have left are slow Hydralists. Another Overlord dies. Wow, they don't even kill that many Corsairs. What do you get? 1 and damage another one? And now the supply blocks are coming in. 56 out of 46. Look how many gates Mighty has in his main, by the way. That is an obscene amount. Okay, he's got 9 gate. He needs lurkers. That's the only way to stall the game. I'm not even going to say salvage the game, because I don't think there's any world where Zerg can win from this position. But at least he could stall the game. Maybe he could get lucky, like doing like some type of Overlord drop, catching the Corsairs out of position and maybe killing an entire probe line. But outside of that, this is a massacre. Zerg is still supply block, by the way. Zerg's econ is also crazy, just like Mighty's, but he doesn't have any unit. I'm actually surprised that Protoss didn't just go right there. He saw there's no sunken. Okay, now he's going to go. No, he's not. And now he's going to go to the third base. 126 to 70. And the guy has 47 drones. So 23 supply in Hydralisk versus Protoss, who has 70 supply in Zealots. This is crazy. And you know those are Hydras. Yep, that's gonna be a dead third base. Well, the Sim City is great. I mean, that's really limiting the damage. But does it matter? Look at that one drone by the Evolution Chamber. I mean, this is impeccable defense, but it just doesn't matter because Zerg is so unbelievably far behind. And there he goes, he taps out, GG. So a bit unlucky for Yoon there. His Mutas clumping up on the Scourge means that the Scourge all die. Mutas die. And Mighty just turns that into an easy victory. So now we're going to be going into him versus Hero. And, well, at least we're going to get my wish, which is we're now going to get to see how Hero plays versus Mighty here. See if he can exploit the obscene amount of probes that Mighty is building. Like, can he get an unreal Hydra timing before it all kicks in? Or will he just, you know, kind of sit back like what Yoon did? Either way, we've got Mighty in the top left, and we do have Hero in the top right. Now, because of how strong Hero's Zerg versus Protoss is, and with the third base, the mineral only being like right next to you, and then also the fourth base, whether it's top middle or mid right, I mean, mid right is kind of far away, but top middle not so much. I'm hoping that if Mighty is going to play for whatever build he goes for, I hope he's playing for like just mid game, because I think it's going to be pretty rough for him in late game. I imagine that Hero's econ is going to be crazy at that point. So I hope to see something like an 8 or 9 gate timing from him. But what's Hero going to do? Haven't we been seeing him do like a lot of 12 hatch, 11 hatches just in general? So no surprise that it's going to be 12 hatch once again. And is it going to be gate? It should be, right? There it is. Right? 10 gate once again. And once again, he's going to get lucky and find Zerg first. Oh, sorry, we didn't have a 10 gate. I was thinking on Apocalypse, you know, I immediately thought it was going to be a 10 gate when I saw the probe go back, but it ended up being, you know, that forge where he was going to cannon rush. But look at this anti-timing. Doesn't even get to deny that. So now Zerg, first off, sees the fast scout. He has an overlord over the natural, so he's going to see a cannon rush coming from a mile away. Of course, we know that that's not going to happen because it's a gateway. But I can't imagine Hero, you know, freaking out over this single probe and doing something crazy. That's some good harassment right there. I like that. Just damaging a couple of drones. That one drone that's been off of mining, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot of lost mining time, but hey, it adds up. He's been off the mineral line, what, for like 15 seconds now? That's like basically 16 minerals. Okay, he's going to scout. For a second, I thought he was going to go top middle and build a hatch. But he is going to scout, and he's going to see that this zealot is on the way. In fact, it's already almost there. See that clutch drone micro? Nope. Oh, he tried, but he took a couple of hits. That drone actually has to be careful now. It could get taken down by the single pro. Wow, I didn't even see a drone go down to mid-right, but there's the mid-right base. So no mineral only. But we are going to have lings out on the map now. This is where the probe harassment could really be impactful. He's damaged a lot of drones, but it doesn't look like he's able to find any drones that had taken critical damage. He doesn't even get that last shot off. Okay, he gets one drone. I'm going to say that was close to worth. You forced a lot of lost mining time with the full drone pull. You ended up killing a drone, and you forced out a lot of lings. I'm gonna venture a guess and say it was decent. Ends up losing the probe. Now that hurts. Uh-oh. More lings? Now he's not mining gas, so it's not like that this is going to be a ling flood, or at least not just yet. But this is an interesting follow-up. Now this is ling tight. The top side is definitely tied up there with the two zealots. See that the forge is really like, wow, okay, this could be actually just a ling bust. He's built more lings, man. Really, without even speed? 4 zealots? Oh, more pros being caught off the line. I don't think that Hero's gonna bust this. This looks like a hold to me. This was a disaster. What's he doing? He knew there's no way that the lanes could win that battle. Did I miss something? Like, there was a probe in his base, but he shouldn't be afraid of one probe. I don't understand. Was Hero just not paying attention? That's a lot of Zerglings to lose. Those zealots, yes, they're low health, or low-ish health, but the majority of the damage was on the shield, so they're going to regen. Yeah, look at them. Half of them are pretty decent health. Shields are going to regen somewhat quickly, and he's got 4 zealots already. If he waits for, I think, one more, he could do immense damage. And we see Hero, I think this is kind of like a panic move. He didn't really get much damage at all on the lings. His econ shot. Now what can he do? He can't just drone because Protoss already has their natural up and running. Protoss got away with a really slow forge. Even it only builds 1 cannon. So he's going to be going into probably 3-hatch Hydra. Now I'm hesitant to say 3-hatch Hydra all in, because every time I think it's an all-in, it ends up just being a macro follow-up. But look at this. A zealot actually gets across the map. Okay, but there's links here, so this will be shut down. He needs to get in, but he's not going to. That's good defense. Keeps Protoss still in the dark. Doesn't really even see how many lings are out in the field either. So all he knows is that, hey, speed's out there. Doesn't confirm that there's, 15 lings out. Oh, fast 3 gates. Whoa. But unless I'm missing something, I didn't see a Citadel. And I didn't see a Stargate? Is this going to be Mass Goon? What is this? I didn't see the Cybernetics spinning. Well, there's the first Goon. This is weird because the Forge is not spinning, man. Is this Mass Goon? It has to be Mass Goon. But isn't +1 weapon like a big power spike for Goons also? Zealots engage, and they don't even, not even one of them died. So again, another great trade for Protoss. Yes, Zerg did a lot of damage with the Lings, but nothing ends up falling. Now Zerg, just Zerg things, all of a sudden has almost 30 workers, but the hatchery count is really low. 3-gate Goon, though. I don't think I've ever seen this. I've seen 5-gate Goon. But I guess you can't afford 5-gate at this point. I mean, he's got 40 probes. I imagine you should be able to afford 5-gate. Well, either way, Protoss is on the move, but without +1 weapon, you know, he has to be careful to not run into mass Ling or mass... Oh, wow! Okay, so Zerg is very worried that this is going to be a bust as he builds multiple Sunkens at both bases, and they're far forward. Like, they're in the front. They're not hidden behind the hatches, hidden behind the evolution chamber like we see in a lot of Wow, even more Sunken colonies. Okay, if you're mighty here... Well, first off, he needs to see this, but instead he's moving over to the 3rd base, and this is where there's only 2 Sunkens. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, that's a great catch. He's going to kill one of the goons instantly. I don't think Protoss can win this battle. Yeah, you got to turn around. If you're mighty here, don't you just expand off of this? Or do you, like, go 8-gate? Like, keep the pressure up? Look at Zerg's worker count. It's terrible. There's no way around it. 26. 45 out of 45. If you were to tell me that this was Hero, like if you were to take the nameplates off and tell me that this was Hero, I would tell you that you're lying. Because I don't know what this is. He's now gone into Mass Ling after going 3-hatch Hydra with Mass Sunkens. He's not even mining his Nat Gas, by the way. He has a lair, but there's no Spire. Okay, there is a Spire in the main. Okay, so I still don't know what the purpose of the Spire is. Is he going Mutas? Surely you're not going into Mutas when you saw this guy went, 4-gate Goon, and he's had Goons for this long. Get Ling counterattack. We will find 1 Goon. Ooh, okay. That is some nice catch right there. It's a good surround on a lot of them, but does anything die? Just 2 Goons, that's it. And I see a supply block. I don't even know how the supply block happened. But Hero is supply blocked. And okay, we do have a Muta counterattack. Now, I don't even know what to think of this, because Mighty has consistently built a cannon in his main. I can't imagine him not building a cannon. Yeah, of course. All he's seen are Lings. Of course he's going to have cannons. I don't know what Hero is doing this game, man. I mean, this is a weird game. First the Ling fails, then Hydras with no Econ. Scouts that it's 3-gate, Goon, then goes into Mutas with, again, low Econ, only 5 hatches, I think, with Mass Sunkens to just not die. He needs an absolute miracle. I don't really know what to do for him to get back into this game. I actually think the correct play for Mighty here is to get a Dark Archon. You already have enough Goons. You're going to win any battle versus the Mutas and the Hydras most likely. But the way you can lose is if there's like straggler units in the Mutalist, pick them off over and over and over, or if they harass the mineral line. But with the Maelstrom, you're going to shut down both of those. I don't think this is going to work. And there it is. There's the Dark Archon. I just said that. I think this is the perfect follow-up. I don't see how Hero has any chance here. But I will say this. Wasn't it 100 supply to 50 a second ago? Now it's 114 to 90 with 46 drones. I just don't get how Zerg can do this. He's now got even amounts of workers. He's got 6 hatches. He's got his 3rd base gas coming up. Are those yeah, he's gonna go into double evolution chamber as a follow-up. Okay, triple. That's probably triple evolution chamber. Now that seems excessive to me. Does it not? Yeah, I don't like that. I think that's a little too much. We'll see if Mighty can punish this. Hero's build order is all over the place. There's the Dark Archon. There's still 0 Hydras out on the map. Just Mutiling. But the Sunkens probably, can save his natural. Would love to see Reaver this game, but I have a feeling that's not going to happen. Now, I saw a probe move towards mid-left. I'm hoping that that's the case and that we're going to have a Nexus go down. But if the Dragoons don't stay over here, the Mutas can counter that and just kill it immediately. So smartly, Mighty is... Oh, well, he was just sitting over there. But now he's on the move. I think if Hero suspects the third base is going down, he should counter it and kill it. Oh, but that would be a mistake because there's the Dark Archon. I forgot about that. Well, just like last game, we're about 2 cycles away from max for Protoss. It is mostly Dragoons, but Dragoons is really what you want here, right? Mass Sunken, Mass Lurker. You've got the Dark Archon, combo with the Goons for the Mulus. All you're really hoping is that Zerg doesn't have Crackling, which he doesn't. I feel like Protoss is golden here. Meanwhile, Zerg is taking bottom right. I'm not sure what that is at bottom right. I guess it's Zealots, because of how fast Zerg went down there. If it had been DT, oh, he actually got to cancel the hatchery, and now Protoss is on the move. And we finally see some Hydros onto the field. We've got a couple Lurkers. He needs a juicy Maelstrom to just run over Zerg here. And Zerg needs to somehow dodge the Maelstroms completely. Another Sunken, alright. And we got a massive attack at mid-left. Now this could get weird because Protoss has sent his entire army over there. But I don't think he's going to be able to get through. That's a lot of Lurkers. That's a lot of Sunkens. But I think there's not that much over at mid-left. Okay, Sunkens are going down. Lurkers are doing work, and mid-left got blasted. He didn't even transfer any probes, so this base is 100% gone. Zerg supply is really good. 120 now versus 120. That's the last Lurker, though. Protoss might have done it. Okay, that's a kind of a whiff. Okay, oh my gosh, great Maelstrom on top of those 3 Lurkers right there before they're able to burrow. But that means he's not going to have Maelstrom for the Mutalisk. More and more Lurkers being set up in the main. Just 1 remaining. That's not a lot of Dragoons. All the Goons are falling, man. There's only 4 left over. He sees that Lurker. Yeah, get in there and kill it. And I like what Zerg is doing, even though he lost his natural, and I think he lost all those upgrades. He's cutting off reinforcements. I can see that he's jumping on top of the army that's trying to help reinforce here. It looks like it's being denied. However, Protoss is in the main, but all the observers have died. Luckily for him, he doesn't have to worry about that because there's no Lurkers set up. As I say that, of course, some Lurkers get into position, but... Wow, he ends up managing to burrow one of them. I think Zerg's going to hold this. Zerg lost a lot, but there's still a Lurker here. Zerg has Hive. Zerg is going to have Crackling. Protoss is going to be mined out in his main and natural pretty soon. This is wild. That hatch is going to die. I see that there is a base for Mighty going up at bottom left, but how does he get probes over there? I don't think he ever does. I think at any point, Zerg could just swoop around and kill this Protoss army. And Zerg still has 5 hatches. Like, yes, he doesn't have great econ on his 2 bases, but he at least still has 5 hatches with Hive. I would like to get a click on the Lings to see what the upgrades are. If they have 1-1, I think Zerg's in an okay spot, but if he's still at just +0, okay, he's at 1-1. All right. I did see that Protoss has +2 weapons, so it's still going to negate the armor. But with the +1 weapon, those Lings are going to be hitting hard also. And look at this. Actually, the probes are going to be able to transfer across the map. Now Zerg is going to take this lull in game state to take their natural again. There's critically still not very many lurkers. I think there's only that single lurker in the main, which I don't even think he probably remembers is there because it was under an overlord. The Mulus catch some probes being sent across the map, so he at least knows that, hey, this guy does have another base. Ooh. One muta gone, or one Templar gone. Another one gone. That was a nice find. Mini cannons. With the Mutalisk, maybe he could have been able to take him down. You know, have the Mutalisk soak up the shots while the Lings do all the DPS. But Zerg has somehow recovered to have almost even supply. And he doesn't have goons in this army. Well, not many at least. Oh, Archons are here. Oh my gosh! He hits 3 lurkers before they can get burrowed. There's only 1 lurker doing splash damage. Oh, that was massive. Oh my gosh, that was huge. They just got mowed down. He may even have a... Yeah, he has a second one. See ya, Mutas. I think Mighty's going to take this game. All these Mutas are going to die. Or at least a lot of them. Wow. Clutch Maelstrom, man. Didn't I say Maelstrom was going to be clutch here? And we get to see it in full force as he catches the lurkers and the Mulus. And now what can you do as Zerg? You can't counterattack anymore. Your Mulus are basically dead. You've got Lings. They have 1/1 upgrades. But Protoss already has +2 weapon. And you don't have any supporting units. So lurkers just die. I think this is a 1-0. I think that's going to put Mighty 1 game away from moving out. He's got +3, +1. Oh my gosh. This has got to be it. Main's gonna die. There's the GG. Oh my goodness. So, Mighty last season really delivered versus Terran. So far, playing really well versus Zerg. And I gotta say, that was definitely not a hero-like game right there. That was very confusing. All over the place with the build order. He needs to get it together because he is on the brink of elimination here, and once again, we're going to be going into Radeon. Hey, this time around, oh, once again in the top right, we do have Hero. And once again in the top left, we do have Mighty. Now, you just saw Mighty go for 12 Nexus. And, you know, I was saying, I feel like we've consistently seen Hero go 12 hatch. Zerg versus Terran, Zerg versus Protoss. Even in Zerg versus Zerg, he's been going 12 hatch quite a bit. Why not try and go for that 12 Nexus once again? You know, it's unlikely that Yoon, after the game, messaged Hero saying, like, hey, this guy went 12 Nexus on Radeon. You should be careful. I just have a feeling that that's not what happened. So if I was Mighty here, I would try it once more, especially since I just blasted Yoon really easily. And on top of that, if you 12 Nexus and it ends up being a 9 pool or whatever and you just immediately die, well, at least you're not eliminated, right? You'll get to game 3. And then I think going back-to-back 12 Nexus, you would assume that at least one of them wouldn't run into a 9 pool, right? So I think that could also be, you know, a fallback plan if this was to end up failing, but it ends up not being a 12 Nexus as it's once again, okay, it's going to be a Forge. I thought it was going to be another gate, but we've got the double scout coming, and this time around, it's a pool first, but I think it was over pool. I guess I would have died here with my 12 Nexus, unless I had a cut for like an 11 Forge also. I think 11 Forge, 12 Nexus 11 Forge can hold it, but not really anything else. And now Protoss is going to know that, hey, this guy went pool first. I should probably turn a probe around. Yeah. Turn a probe around and get my cannon up. And here's going to do exactly what Yoon did on Apocalypse, which is he's just going to take his third base. Okay. despite knowing that it was a pool first and not really seeing the pool timing, he still goes for 12 for a Nexus before the cannon, and it's a drone. It's 2 Lings and 2 drones. Are you serious? Okay, well, here's gonna have big time eco, but so is Protoss. Once again, the probe is now going to be able to run free in the main, see everything. He's going to see the gas timing, 245. Why not build 4 Lings, man? Please. Especially on maps with ramps. Like, you also saw it's a forge. It's not like there's going to be zealots moving across the map to prevent, you know, you from denying the probe, right? I don't know, man. Either way, Overlord in the main is going to see everything. You know, not that he's going to see anything crazy, but he's in there. Gets to see the cybernetics timing. Hatchery is going to be completed in just a second. And we're going to have to gate. I imagine that the cybernetics may come down on the low ground. Nope, it's going to be put down in the main. Either way, that probe is getting really low now. And he has not confirmed any type of tech. 100 gas did just get spent, but I'm guessing it's probably at the 3rd base for the lair. I would be really surprised if it ends up being in the main. Oh, he canceled. He's going to go Hydra. If the probe gets in and sees this, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go on full-on rant about this. Please, please intercept that probe. And he spots it! He spots the Hydrogen! Just build some Lings slightly quicker so this doesn't happen. Now, of course, Protoss is in the dark, so now he's got to guess whether it's a mind game or if it's Hydras, but at least he knows that there is a Hydrogen on the field. So he'll be able to have cannons. We've got range coming in. Now, I guess the question is how committed is it going to be? We've seen people build like 3. We've seen some Zergs build 7. We've seen players like 815 just build Hydras forever. There's a second cannon. Another goon out. I don't know about killing that egg. Do you want to kill that egg? Doesn't that just make it another hole for a Zerg to just get in? Well, so far it looks like it's going to be somewhat of a committed attack. Drone count is pretty good at... Okay, never mind. It's not going to be a committed attack. This is way too many drones. So he's trying to mind game here, make Protoss overbuild some cannons. The Stargate still not done. That's because he built a 3rd gate. I forgot that the Overlord got in. Did he see that there were gates? All right. Isn't this just a massive build order win for Zerg at this point? You go big econ. You know Protoss can't attack with, 2 goons and a zealot, right? So you're going to be able to drone up like Hero is doing. And then, by the time Protoss gets up to, let's say critical mass of goons. I don't know what critical mass of goons would be. But let's say like probably something like 8, maybe 9. It's going to be quite a bit of time before that happens. By the time that happens, all 5 hatches are probably done, right? Probably Lings would just win that battle. I don't know what to think of Mighty's build order. I think it's different when he did so much damage with the Zealots the first time, forced or killed so many Lings. But now, he knows that this guy has a Hydra Den. He knows that 973 is a thing. Citadel, I don't know what to make of the Citadel either. It's got to be for fast Templar Archive, right? But if this doesn't work, aren't you just in a really bad position? I can't imagine Templars helping you when you have mass goons and you're just ceding complete map control to Zerg in the mid game. And here we go. This is so many Hydras already. And the Lings trying to get some body blocking going on. And there we go. There goes 2, 3, 4. This is why you don't go goons into Hydras. Especially when you scout the Hydras. Now, if Zerg goes into Lair and Lurkers, guess what? You ain't getting out. But this game might just be over. That is so many Hydras. Zealot melts. Cannons melt. We know the goons melt. And see you later, Protoss. This is not going to be held. This wasn't even an all-in. Protoss has, or Zerg has good econ. 28 drones, 5 hatches. See your probes. What's funny is he's lost so many probes and he's still at a good amount. Another goon dies. If he kills the pylon, or if he kills the forge, then it's just goon versus Hydra, and we all know how that's going to work out. So this is going to be a tied-up game, 1-1. Absolute destruction here. Like I said, this build is strong when you have a good opener like a 12 Nexus, or you can get some good damage onto the Lings, and Zerg has to respect the immediate counterattack. But when there's no counterattack potential, and the guy's already opened Hydras, I don't understand it. Also, the Overlord saw it, so it wasn't even like you were hiding the gates. Very weird. Maybe that's just Mighty style. I don't really watch Protoss streamers in general, especially amateur level players like Mighty. But that was not the play. So now we're going to be going into Apocalypse. It's going to be game 3 now. Both players with their lives on the line. So we've got Hero in the bottom left. And in the bottom right, we do have Mighty. Now, last game definitely looked like a Hero type of game with the crazy amount of Hydras, the good eco opener. And now if you're Mighty here, we've really only seen him play, what? Well, I was going to say we've only seen him play 2 builds, but that's not correct. We saw double Stargate twice. We saw Goons twice. And we saw Forge Opener twice. Is that right? Forge Opener twice. Double Stargate twice. Yeah, that is right. Like, what do you do now? Do you just try and play a normal, like 7:30 Zealot timing? That feels like it's too normal to work versus someone like Hero. I still think you got to risk it for the biscuit here. Go for the 12 Nexus. Pray that you don't run into an early pool. And I would have died, as we see another overpool. Now, hopefully for Mighty, please do not be a 12 Nexus, because if it is a 12 Nexus, this is going to be a 4-minute game. If it is a Forge, he's going to have a pretty good opener. There goes that probe, but the timing of this looks like it's going to line up perfectly with the Nexus. Uh-oh. Well, let's just say this. Last game, Zerg did not scout. And they only built 2 Lings. Right? So probes can hold this. If you're going to overpool and build 2 Lings, I gotta imagine a 12 Nexus is a decent opener, right? Now those 2 eggs got morphed simultaneously. So it's definitely 2 of something. It's either 2 sets of Lings or 2 drones. I think he needs to try and buy time. He needs to I was gonna say he needs to fake a cannon rush, but the Lings are already out, so that's not gonna happen. And 4 Lings are on the move. And now, well, actually the cannon might get up in time, man. Like, Apocalypse has a sizable rush distance. He needs to pull some probes, though, doesn't he? Look at this. He's body blocking 2 of the Lings, so they're getting there a little bit slower. Actually, this is a good opener, is it not? Oh, this is so close. So close. Cannon. Cannon. Oh, probe drill was fantastic. The dream opener for Mighty right here. There we go. Even though I love Hero, I always love to see the amateurs bring it to these top tier pros, and Mighty's got a great opener here. 12 Nexus, Forge, didn't overbuild cannons. Gate, didn't pull a lot of probes. And even though he pulled 3 of them, they immediately started mining after denying those lings. And he's still in Zerg's base. So he'll be able to once again confirm Lair or confirm Hydroden. This looks pretty good. If I'm mighty here, I think try and do what he did on the first game on Apocalypse, which was build 2 Zealots and send them. Put some pressure onto this guy. Make this guy not be able to just drone like a madman. Now, I think the Lair went down at the natural, right? So we are going to have, again, Spire play. Unless we've got another cancel. There we go. Protoss confirms it. Uh-oh. Getting dangerous. Looks like you'll be able to get away. Okay, there we go. First Zealot out on the move. I'm not sure if the Overlord actually spotted it out on the move. So if he's not paying attention, maybe this one Zealot can do some damage here, especially if the probe can stay alive. Now we do have the Stargate, but that's a really fast Nat Gas, isn't it? I think we're gonna have another double Stargate game. I really do. The Overlord has already left the main. He didn't, okay, but critically he didn't see like pylon in the, in the center of the base, right? In the Citadel game and in the Radeon game, we did see like a pylon near the mineral line. I don't think you can do that here on Apocalypse, but if it was going to be another gateway, goon game, I think he would have seen a pylon by the main gas. The fact that that's not there, I think he can already discount that it's going to be goons. That's a Citadel, okay. So this is just going to be one Stargate, one Citadel. Okay, there's another gate, I think. I don't think he would ever build another Stargate right there. So he is going to see the second gate. Now I wonder if he'll be thinking, oh, is it goons? No, he's going to see the Stargate also. So now he knows, not goons. Of course, they're on the move. Now, what's he want to do with all this gas? Because he did get his nat gas really quick. Oh, it's wait a minute, it's Hydras. Is this a lurker contained? I guess I didn't see a Spire. There's also no nat gas for him. Alright, interesting. I guess he felt like maybe this guy would go goon again. Or maybe he thought that it would be double Stargate. I'm not sure if he actually saw the nat gas. But either way, I like the Hydra follow-up. Because now he can go into lurkers. That would force Protoss to do something weird like rush a Robo. And I don't see a rush Robo. Right, interesting play from Hero so far. They're just locking in of that probe so that they stack with the Corsairs. For some reason, I don't think that Protoss really knows what's going on. It's lurkers, isn't it? Okay, well, Protoss is, I thought, going to be on the move. If he was to go right now, 7 Zealots with +1 with speed would hit before the lurker upgrade. Is it 4 Corsairs? Something like that? And there we go, on the move now. There's really not a lot of defense for Zerg. So Zerg really does have to buy time. Okay, speed is kicked in, but he's not moving. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent amount of Hydralisks, but it's not that many. And Zerg's supply block, man. Just now coming out of supply block. Shouldn't Protoss win this battle? Okay, never mind. They're not going to win the battle with the Lings in the back. But he will kill some Overlords. How many will it be? Gets 2. Almost gets 3. And I think he lost only 1 Corsair. Again, I'm going to say that's worth. But again, once again, Mighty has so many probes, man. So many. We're going to see the massive counterattack. Okay, but the Hydras, yeah, they're attacking uphill, so not getting as many good shots as they're hoping for. Even though supplies are just 53 to 92. I have a feeling Hero's going to shoot up in supply in a second. Either way, Protoss with the Templars now should be in an okay position. That's a great storm. It's a lot of the Templars, and he finds Overlords again. What is happening? Hero, he's going to be supply blocked once again, just like in the Yoon series on Apocalypse. He doesn't have a 6th hatch, like it's just now gonna complete or about to complete. So he doesn't have, you know, the big time macro that the Hydras were looking for. He's lost a lot of Overlords. Protoss again has almost 60 probes. I mean, this is absurd, man. He's got almost as many probes as Zerg has total supply. Gateways are coming online though. This is again looking really dire for Zerg. If Protoss can just hold the high ground with the Zealots and Templars, and then have 1 or 2 cycles of goons, he can definitely take a 3rd base. I don't think Zerg can ever win a fight here. In what world can Zerg win a fight? There's Templars, it's high ground, you don't have lurkers. The Corsairs are still sharking for those Overlords. Almighty, please don't attack, man. You have too much. Your econ is too crazy to doing attacks like this. Just take your 3rd base. Yes, he smells blood in the water as he moves across the map. Okay, those Hydras are gonna die. The Hydra splitting is decent. Not exactly the best, but decent. Dude, his hero, he has to retreat all the way. He does get a full morph out of all those Templars. They're all going to be turned into Archons, so he doesn't have to worry about Storm anymore, at least from those units. He did see that there are lurkers coming, though. Hopefully he's got a Robo. Okay, now the 6-hatch Hydra are going to kick in. And at this point, Protoss needs to have some Dragoons and more Templars. Where are they? Like that Archon died. It's still just Zealot Archon, man. Man, I'm getting so nervous here because I know that the Lurker's going to do work, and there they are. No Goons, no Templars, no Observer. It's just Zealots with no detection. This is going to do so much damage. Hero is supply blocked, though. These Corsairs are still doing so much work. Only 1 Lurker. But it doesn't matter. Because look, oh my... 2 Lurkers. The 3rd base is just now... Oh, it still hasn't started. I thought those are just cannons being morphed. He has up so much supply, but his comp is so bad. Okay, there's the Observer. He is just up an unreal amount of supply, but still 0 goons. Shocked that there's 0 goons. But he still has so much supply that Zerg is not confident to sit on the high ground. So Protoss is going to get their 3rd base. Protoss has their goons coming. It's 9 gate, by the way. Protoss has 9 gate. Up 50 supply, 20 of them in workers. So he's going to have massive econ. 3rd base, going to be completing in about, I don't know, what, 45 seconds? Something like that. And we're going to have a maxed out Protoss in just a second. Oh, the Overlord drop! We're loading up! Let's go! This could be just base trade. If he goes right now, doesn't turn around, we could just have a full-on base trade scenario. Well, okay. Can Zerg stop this? Like, I realize drops are good, and he's going to do a lot of damage in here for sure. Oh, he turns around! What? He turns around. Is Hero going to die? Like, this can't be the call, right? You can't turn around now. Or maybe you can? Oh, is he just gonna drop right on top of the army? Storm! 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 No Storm! He doesn't have any energy. Oh my gosh. What a crazy defense right here. Baits the army. I don't know if bait is the right word, but Protoss went in. Ends up getting dropped right on top of their army, and now what was a 50 supply lead all of a sudden is only 30. Protoss, yes, lost a lot, but at least for him it was mostly Zealots. Didn't lose anything in his main other than a probe transfer, so at least he ends up saving his econ. Zerg lost I don't know what, maybe 10 workers or something. I don't know how many they exactly have, but I see they're only at 34 workers. So I'm going to guess something like that. But critically for Protoss is they don't have critical mass anymore. Also has no storm, and there's, what, 9 lurkers right here? If he kills the cannons... Uh-oh. These cannons are all going to die real quick. See you, cannons. These probes are all going to die probably also. Oh my god! Oh my gosh! And there's so many zealots here. There's no way to engage the lurkers. This is a dead base. How? How does Hero make stuff like this work? He can counter, but this is gonna be like maybe the first of only 2 attacks that Mighty has, because he's gonna be mined out in his main and natural so quickly. Mighty, for some reason, has no gas. He didn't build that many Corsairs. I don't think he built that many Templars. And I don't think he built that many Goons. So I'm curious, does he not have 3 on gas at his natural? Like, why is the gas count so low? Well, once again, he's going to try and come in here, but be greeted with a ton of spines to the face. Mighty needs to get that 3rd base up and running. But he doesn't even have a probe there. Oh, uh-oh, that's not a good sign. Long distance mining. That is no bueno for him. And Zerg sees that this guy's long distance mining, so he knows that this guy's pretty much all in. The Protoss went across the map undetected. That is surprising. But I have a feeling that Zerg is just going to counterattack when they see this. Look at this. Mighty actually is hiding a base at bottom right. That is a sneaky move. That is a tiny choke right there, though. Do you really want to take this angle? I think he's going to get sandwiched, man. There's not that many lurkers, but there's still enough to do a lot of damage. Hydra lurker. Oh my. This was a big collapse. So many... Okay, those are really good storms at the top side. Does a ton of damage to the lurkers, but I don't think there's enough damage to actually kill them. Goons are trying to hold here, but there's nothing to support them. So Mighty's army is going to get melted, and we're going to see Protoss just tap out. Crazy game right there. I really did think Mighty was going to run away with it, being up 50 supply, but Hero, he always just has enough stuff at the right times. And that drop, I can't believe he turned around. I thought that was a big mistake, but in the end, ended up being perfect. So he's going to make it out. JYJ is going to make it out. So congrats to them. I think those were the 2 expected players to make it out. Let's take a look at our results. We saw Hero take down Mighty in Game 1. JYJ took down Yoon. And then JYJ taking down Hero in the winners match. Then we had Mighty beating Yoon. And then Mighty, I think, had opportunities in some of these games to beat Hero, but Hero doing Hero things, getting another victory versus Protoss, and he'll be making it out once more. So that is it today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the content brought to you by StarCastTV, definitely consider becoming a Patreon supporter or slamming that like and subscribe button on our YouTube, and I'll see you in our next group.